Hi everyone. So I was just gonna have a relaxing night tonight, and then Adam something on YouTube decided to be an idiot and say stupid things about Warhammer. So hi, I'm here. Me and the boys. Say hello, everyone.
Hello, everyone.
Hello, everyone.
Yeah.
Hello.
I decided there is no way we're gonna let this go without getting the gang in to help me rip this apart. I mean, I could do it solo. It's more fun to do it as a team. So, context: Adam something on YouTube. He's a guy's a shit lib. He puts out like videos about how, like, say we shouldn't colonize space because it's expensive and dangerous, and Elon Musk is doing it, so that makes it evil, etc., etc. This guy puts out this video. The problem with Warhammer 40k, it's fucking stupid. This is the new okay, this guy beat out fucking Temple and Institute's 40k and the Death of Canon female Space Marines video in stupidity. That's how bad this is. And we're gonna just casually rip this apart. Let me set y'all up with a stream to watch. So there, now we can watch this in real time now. All right, yeah.
This will be fun.
Oh no, this is gonna be pain. We are going to lose brain cells with this. It's, yeah. Alrighty, let's see. There is.
Why must you make me suffer?
I mean, you wanted to come down here, man. You said
you brought this upon yourself.
Yeah, don't look at me, man. You wanted the smoke.
Admittedly,
I kidnapped him.
Yeah, you did.
Admittedly, he did drag me in here.
All right. So yeah. Everybody is connected. We're gonna turn the volume up. All right, volume is up. We're gonna go in 3, 2, 1, and all right. Brace yourselves.
Warhammer is a universe where people fight wars using hammers.
Okay, we're off to...
this dude's voice is already annoying.
I was gonna say the voice alone has already pissed me off.
I fucked up a little. For some reason, the media share is wrong. There we go. But yeah, no, it's like I mean, listen, I've watched a few of this guy's videos. You have to get used to his voice, guys. I'm sorry, but yeah, continuing.
Okay, not really. Warhammer 40k is a massive, bombastic universe in the grimdark future of the 40th millennium where humanity is fighting wars on an epic scale on multiple fronts against all sorts of horrors. Space orcs, space elves, literal demons from hell, humans corrupted by literal demons from hell, the Zerg, and also the Tau. Warhammer got its start as a tabletop game, and at the core it still is. Imagine chess but more complex, where two players bring out their hand-painted armies of miniatures and battle it out on a large board. It's a cool experience at game stores or game bars where you get to meet people, socialize, and show off your cool miniatures. Today, however, the Warhammer IP has already outgrown its tabletop niche and now includes ultra-popular AAA game titles such as the latest Space Marine 2 with more than 2 million copies sold worldwide.
Not wrong.
But the Warhammer IP has not been without its controversies. We now have gamer-gators accusing the pattern.
Hey guys. What year is it?
No.
What year is it?
2024.
2014.
10 years. They need to let it go already.
It's okay.
It's almost 2025.
Call it gatekeeper.
It's been a decade. Okay, let it go, for fuck's sake.
It's all they have.
Yeah,
you can't let it go. It's all they have.
He's also
listen.
He's also bringing up Endymion TV. That guy. I mean, look, that guy's a clickbait channel.
Yeah, and Endymion does some. I mean, every once in a while, like kind of like a stop clock. He's right.
Yeah. Like it's like guy's a clickbait. This is like this is like, say, using a really ill-informed clickbaity shitlib video to do a reaction to.
I was going to say, this is like turning to the National Enquirer for news.
Man,
for those old enough to remember that.
Yeah.
Looking at the screenshot reminds me of the Quartering's daily uploads. Where they all have the same title.
Yes.
One or two words is slightly different. Bro, look, 6 videos a day. I kind of respect it.
Yeah, I mean,
Marketing master.
Yeah, I mean, look, I think the quartering is legitimately a piece of shit, but you know what? I do respect the hustle, you know? all right, okay, right off the bat, Gamergate. Okay, that casts a pale shadow over this guy's entire point, but all right, let's continue.
Company Games Workshop of turning the game woke by introducing into it the most absurd creatures of all. Women. No.
Oh, God.
That's so horribly photoshopped
Custodes.
on. Like, I can see where it's, like, clearly a Cadian woman. And I'm pretty sure it's the Cadian from the...
It's Minka, Minka Lenx. Yeah,
that's Minka,
yeah. You know the worst part is? That he didn't make this image. This was from fucking articles on, like, Bolter and Chainsword or something, or Spiky Bits. They came up with that image.
Yeah, that's absolutely Minka. I think the scar is backwards, but
it's like,
but it's like, that makes it different.
Yeah, but it's like right off the bat, it's like the problem is they put women in Warhammer. You know that old chestnut. You know, and not the fact that you know the problem is that they completely threw out 30 years of lore for a faction. You know, I admit I got bamboozled on why they did the whole female custodes thing. Like, real talk, I think I have my conspiracy theories on why they did it these days. I just go by schizo posting about it. I don't go by anyone trying to say, oh, here's what actually happened, because I learned my lesson on that. That said, listen, here's the fact about this is nobody fucking liked this change, and if it's not memory hold by 11th edition, I will be very surprised.
I mean, apart from an episode of a show,
I can see
no figures, no novels, no anything.
I that's actually my little low stakes conspiracy theory about the female custodes thing. Why I think it happened. I legitimately think they farm out their animations. And then they farm out their animations for Warhammer Plus, and you'll notice they don't give the Warhammer Plus videos credits. They just say the Warhammer Story Forge. They don't actually credit anybody. I think
they used to.
No, they have. The only people they've credited so far, I think, was the Deathwatch animation. But
they credit in Pariah Nexus. It's M2 Studios.
But yeah, it's like more often than not, they're not crediting anybody. I think they farmed out, you know, the animation for the Tides episodes. The people who did the animation made the custode female by mistake, and they panicked, so they just added that to the 10th edition codex.
I still think it was supposed to be Valerian, and they just butched him up a little less.
Yeah,
they kind of did look like Valerian.
I personally don't believe it was anything that complicated. You know. What's the rule where if you have to? What's the rule? It's like never attribute malice to incompetence.
Yeah,
true.
And if anybody is guilty of incompetence, it's GW.
Yeah, especially
as the resident Custodes enjoyer. Zeph stole my original idea. That's still what I say.
But I honestly believe like this whole. I think this whole thing was just because it's a pretty well-known fact. There's 2 factions in Games Workshop fighting over direction for the games and all that. And I genuinely believe it was one of those factions that did it, that, you know, suggested to corporate just do the female custodes thing, and then it flew in their face spectacularly. Custodes fucking flopped this edition. Like, no amount of bad rules could have made Custodes flop, but this did.
Well, because it's out of nowhere.
Yeah. Well, exactly. I feel like because I legitimately feel there was some kind of error. There was some kind of error. They panicked, and then they just threw the female custodes in, like, just see what happens, and then. Yeah.
My personal is they could have pulled it off if they had not done this. Hey, chuds, They've always been here. What's wrong with you?
Yeah,
that's insulting. That is literally insulting as hell.
I mean, I've said, I do legitimately believe with the Tithes episode, if they'd led with that, it probably would have softened the blow a little bit. But at the same time, I don't think there was any salvaging the situation. It was going to go bad for GW either way. It's just, it could have been like either, they could have chose either to set off a bomb or set off a bomb in a bomb factory. They chose the latter.
Hey, do you think Elon could be talking to buying GW?
Oh, that'd be so fucking funny. But all right, we're not going to get.
I'm sorry. That would be so beautiful.
Okay, we're not going to get anywhere focusing on this. Okay, let's continue. We're only a minute in out of 22. So yeah, let's continue. Okay.
Oh wait, it's actually even more ridiculous. Gamergaters are mad that
Shut up about Gamergate. God. It's 10 years. Let it go.
Games Workshop changed the lore of one of the factions that no one plays or cares about.
Wow.
I'm gonna kill
like somebody who does not actually play the game.
I was just gonna say, does this guy actually play, or is this new?
Hold on, I want to hear what he has to say. I want to hear what he has to say.
Okay. Let's let him finish. Let him cook.
By saying that some of its soldiers can be women. If you want to, I mean, it's you assembling the miniatures. You can decide what head you put on them. And this resulted in a global outrage among people who have never touched a Warhammer miniature.
Never let bro cook again.
No.
Yeah, every time you thought he couldn't go more stupid, he proved you wrong.
Never touched miniatures. Hey, let me grab my Custodes box I still have on my table.
Oh, hey. I mean, look, man. I've got pictures of my fucking minis collection. I just don't post it. I just don't ever post it because the only people who ever ask are like, "Show me your minis, chud." At which point I'm like, "Okay," but because you approach it like that, I'm not going to show you out of spite.
Show me your minis, chud.
I ask out of genuine curiosity, dog.
Show me your chud minis.
What?
I mean,
that sounded wrong.
I mean, look, you want me to flop it on the table?
Not really, no.
I'm good.
But
thank you, but I'm good.
But in all seriousness, though, this is the thing the tourists like to do, which is to call you a tourist. You know, it's like right out of Goebbels'
Gobble. Yeah.
Yeah, right out of
Goebbels.
right out of his playbook. Accuse your enemy of what you are doing. Like, because remember, I mean, I take credit for introducing the term tourist to the Warhammer community. And what was the first thing that tourists started doing? Calling normal fans tourists.
Every time.
Yep. All right. Okay. Let's see how much further he can sink.
Or a woman. That's it, Games Workshop.
You know, I feel like it's not, you know, first of all, I hate this guy's editing style. It reeks of ADHD. But second of all, this is where I have to bring in the part. It's like I'm gay fuckwad. So yeah, why would I touch a woman? Sorry, obligatory joke. All right, continuing.
I could suspend my disbelief for space orcs, space elves, and hell in space run by space demons, but women? If women are...
Oh my god, I'm sorry, but...
Dead Sororitas, Sisters of Silence.
Look, it's not suspension.
The guard. Sorry.
It is a fictional setting. You don't have to suspend your disbelief for things that are established previously in the setting, because that is just the part you've accepted about the setting. It's like reading Lord of the Rings and accepting that Middle-earth is somewhere out there. Yo, you don't fucking think too much about it because that's just how it is. You are consuming a story. But Warhammer has long established lore. 30 years worth of lore. And even if you discount the point up until the beginning of the Black Library, that's still well past a decade. They have lots of fucking established canon, which establishes things that are acceptable, believable, reasonable, and things that are not. Such as, for instance, saying that the noble sons were those chosen for the Custodes. Or that, Space Marines are always male.
Or that, there's a little law called the Decree Passive that says the Ecclesiarchy is not allowed to have men under arms. So they loopholed it and only recruit women. Because remember, this is like automatically a disingenuous video, not only for bringing up Gamergate, not only for doing the whole Warhammer fans, hate women thing, but for implying that there were no women in Warhammer before this. It's like, And this man, I want to point out that this Adam something claims to be a lifelong Warhammer fan, but he does not know that there are multiple all-female factions in Warhammer 40k as a setting. So he is either this leaves two options. He is either ignorant or he is disingenuous. And neither is a good look for making your argument.
Well, he did say 40th millennium in the beginning.
We're also forgetting the female troops of the Eldari, Drukhari,
Oh,
Tau.
yeah. I was just
Commander Shadowsun and Yvrain being two popular characters.
Yeah, see, I was just bringing up the all-female factions, but then you have to bring up the fact that, you know, other than the expressly, you know, gender-locked factions of which, you know, there are two in the Imperium. There are 2 male and 2 female. You know, Space Marines and Custodes are male only. Sisters of Battle and Sisters of Silence are female only, and then everything else is co-ed. Like, I mean, people try to use the argument that because remember, people try to use the argument. Well, there's male Ministorum units in the Sisters of Battle Codex, so it's not an all-female army. It's like, well, okay. That's deliberately ignoring that the Sisters of Battle and the Ecclesiarchy are 2 separate factions. They have 2 separate seats on the High Lords of Terra for a reason. But if we're using that logic, then we can turn that shit around. There's female cultists in the Chaos Space Marine Codex. So by your logic, there's female Chaos Space Marines. I mean, for fuck's sake, the leader of the Dark Covenant, the cultist. The cultist HQ squad, you know which one I'm talking about, right? Oh, hold on. Hey. We're just dragging more people in. This will be the cap on people we're allowing, okay?
Understood. I warned him before I brought him in.
Okay. But yeah, like the argument I was making, you know, if we're arguing that the Ministorum units in the Sisters Codex, which are a separate faction from the Sisters, both in the lore and in terms of, like, on the tabletop. They're separate factions in both. If that means there's men in the Sisters of Battle and there's women in the Chaos Space Marines because of the female cultists, I mean, you can't. Then you can't argue that just defeats your own point in that argument.
Okay,
hold on.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
You go see that.
Okay, so. Just so I understand, the men in the Ministorum, are they active combatants or are they support troops?
They're support.
Okay, so they are no more Sisters of Battle than somebody driving a truck full of fuel was a tanker.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, because of course you bring up that little incident, of course.
Well, what I'm just saying is they're support troops, and while yes, they are part of 2nd Armored, for example, they are not tankers.
Oh yeah, insult all you want, bro. No. Well, I mean, okay, but it's there. Okay, there are Crusaders, and then there's leaders. So there are some. So there are some, you know, there are some differences. Like, I mean, they are combatants, but it's not like the main force.
Right.
It's all
for the record. I respect it, Zeph.
It's also the fact that, you know, and this is something I'm just the thing. We got way more people in here right now to increase the size of the guest thing. Excuse me. The other thing is, and this is the salient point, if that's the right word. It's the fact that the Ministorum and the Adeptus Sororitas are 2 separate factions. Because remember, on the High Lords of Terra, those are 2 separate seats. The Ministorum, which is the head of the Ministorum, which is a permanent seat, and the Abbess Sanctorum, which is it's one of those on and off High Lord seats, you know, the ones that shift. Because like right now, in the current lore, there is both a Ecclesiarch on the High Lords and an Abbess Sanctorum on the High Lords. She's off fighting wars because she's a fucking badass, but she is a High Lord of Terra. Those are 2 separate factions. That's like
you could literally learn all this by listening to one audiobook.
Yeah.
I mean, literally, you could listen to one audiobook and get all this detail.
Yeah. Our Martyred Lady. It's fucking great.
Yeah.
Or her own book. Bo, I would like to add an additional addendum, if you will, to your point.
Okay.
There are female Space Marines because when playing Space Marines, you can take Inquisitors.
Yep, right. That
There's
too.
female Inquisitors.
Also,
Well,
if we're using this, if we're using the tourists' own logic against them, chapter serfs can also be women. Because because you're like if the Space Marines if you're like part of the family line of chapter serfs, or if they consider you badass enough to join the club, you can become a chapter serf.
Or if they pick you up because you're no longer able to carry your infant children.
That too. But yeah, it's like this is why the faction lines are important to the actual faction lines are important to recognize when trying to make your argument in this situation. Because if you don't, it just blurs together into like a mush, and a mush of units with no faction lines. At that point, you might as well not make an argument. But anyway, continuing with the stupidity.
Real, how come I never touched one? On the other hand,
I'm going to ignore it. I'm going to ignore it.
Fringe.
I'm going to ignore
Just
it.
continue.
Yeah.
And opposite to the Gamergaters, we have an increasing number of voices saying that Warhammer 40k is starting to become problematic by turning from a satire of fascism into a celebration of it, especially with the latest Space Marine 2 game. Gamergaters counter this by accusing such critics of overreaction. It's just a game, you're taking it way too seriously, nobody wants to be a literal space Nazi, you guys need to chill the fuck out.
That's actually that is actually a very good argument against yours. It is not real. It is not satire. Games Workshop.
Fiction.
What was
Sorry.
that one? Oh,
I said it's fiction.
Yeah, it's fiction. Games Workshop has said themselves, Warhammer 40,000 is not satire. You can read the Ultimate Guide. You can read the opening written by Guy Haley. It says verbatim that they pay a little bit of lip service. The idea that 40k may have been satire in that sense that it was comedic back in first edition, but yeah, they straight up say Warhammer 40k has evolved past that.
I mean, shit. In Rogue Trader, it's like, yes, humans and orcs living in hive cities.
Yeah.
Like, it was basically just a fantasy setting in space, and they're like, okay, wait, this is becoming just as popular, if not more popular than our fantasy setting. Let's make it a legit thing, and they just went with the groundwork of the first image you ever see of Warhammer. Sure, it's Rogue Trader, but still, first image you will ever see of Warhammer is Crimson Fist and a Last Stand. Let's make that the setting, basically, of humanity raging against the dying of the light.
Yep.
Also, admittedly, there is one game that 40k has made that is pro-fascism. It's called Fire Warrior.
Oh yeah, no, we'll go into that in like we'll go into the irony of this in a little bit. But yeah, let's continue with the video.
They say. So what's going on here? Do Gamergaters have a point? Is Warhammer turning woke? Or are the critics correct here, and Warhammer is indeed turning into a celebration of fascism? To answer this question, we need to talk about Starship Troopers.
Oh God!
Here we go.
Oh my fucking God!
Okay.
Like a clockwork.
Yeah, exactly. All right. Let's okay, let him cook.
The subject of much online discussion as of late. Now, please hold that thought for a moment and let me pay some bills. You might have noticed that the world is kind of...
Okay. All right. Skip his sponsor.
All right, yeah, his sponsor literally is a company that steals your data. No. Okay, this is to anyone watching this video. This man is selling a scam.
Whoa. Do not shit on Delete Me. If you're going to sponsor Delete Me, give me a Fat Electrician video. Give Fat Electrician money.
All right. Okay. All right. We're going to skip a little bit back just so we can... Yeah, okay, there's the...
Starship Troopers is in many ways the predecessor of Warhammer, being one of the trailblazers of hard science fiction. Its setting is also similar to Warhammer's. We have a sort of...
Wait.
Oh, he's literally mixing the book and the movie together.
Hold on. No. Okay, no. Here's the part that caught me. He called them both hard science fiction. Then Warhammer is not hard science fiction. That shit is squishy as fuck. Both both Starship Troopers and Warhammer are not hard sci. Okay, because this is actually a point of autism for me. So
But he's also running the book and the movie together.
Yeah. Okay. Well, but here's the thing. Here's the point. He called it hard science fiction. They are space opera. They are on the soft end of science fiction. Less focus on scientific accuracy and more focus on story and world building.
Oh God.
These are basic fucking terms for literary criticism or understanding literature. Like the scale of hard to soft science fiction. Hard science fiction focuses on scientific accuracy and scientific theory. Soft sci-fi focuses on world building and storytelling over scientific accuracy.
I think the only type of media he gets
clearly
is
a hard sci-fi series.
Yeah.
Honor Harrington is what I like to call crunchy with a chewy center, like Mass Effect was.
For real.
True.
But okay, good
point.
Let's see what this man has to say about. Okay, let's go.
Look, I will say one thing.
What?
He is partially correct that if it's not for Starship Troopers, the book, there'd be no Warhammer.
I mean, that's
Starship Troopers. Invented the concept of power armor.
I mean, that's true. But yeah,
sorry,
it's okay. But right, let's go.
The militaristic human empire called the Terran Federation, battling it out with various alien species, including giant space bugs. Much like Warhammer, Starship Troopers grew out of an original niche IP. With Warhammer 40k,
I wouldn't call it an IP. It was just one book. But anyway,
nothing is canon besides the book.
Yeah.
Top game. With Starship Troopers, it was a book which later got adapted into series, movies, and games, making the IP transition from niche to the relative mainstream. Now, tabletop Warhammer is very different from video game Warhammer, Space Marine 2 in particular. And in the same way, there is a big difference between Starship Troopers, the book, and Starship Troopers, the movie. The 1997 movie, which was at the center of that god-awful discourse. The Starship Troopers book is rather jingoistic. Some people called it fascist literature, but I don't really agree with that label. The book is militaristic, obsessed with toughness and masculinity, heroism and honor, but it's otherwise not covert fascist.
Obsessed.
You know what? Fair. Do you know what? No. That's
Propaganda.
fine. I'll take that.
I won't give it to him because he's bringing up the. One, he's calling it jingoistic. I would not call it jingoistic.
The fuck does that even mean? First of all,
it means like my country, right or wrong. That's basically what it means.
Yeah, but that would be the world, not the country, right? Because it's the Terran Empire, not the American Empire.
Yeah, because at that point, you're.
I think at that point it's more your species, right or wrong.
Yeah,
since multiple worlds.
That's true. It's also the fact that he is bringing up the very masculine storyline, masculine themes of the story in a negative way. If you noticed his tone, he's saying that it's bad because it's masculine.
Well, okay, but I mean, as far as any critiques have gone from a left-leaning person, that's probably the fairest one I've ever seen.
Granted, this is like fair in the sense that it's still incredibly disingenuous because it's like he doesn't want to, on the one hand, he doesn't want to try and slander the book by calling it fascist propaganda, but then he'll bring up like the very cores of what make the story so good with a tone that's like he is disapproving. Like, oh, it's masculine, ew, icky. It gives me the ick, ew, masculine.
I almost want to look into how well this book sold.
All right. Let's continue.
Or anything. It was written by a former soldier at the height of the Red Scare and McCarthyism in the 1950s. So as far as I can see, Starship Troopers is really a product of its time. It's still very right-wing, idolizes the military. In fact, in that world, the only way to gain full rights as a citizen is through military service.
Oh my God.
Sailor. He was a sailor. Read.
He was a
sailor, and it wasn't the only way you could gain fucking. Oh my God!
Like, how did Rico's parents gain citizenship?
Listen.
Didn't. His parents didn't have citizenship.
Yeah, listen. He failed the sniff test just now.
Boo this man. Boo him now.
He. Listen. I've always said. Whenever you see somebody trying to talk shit about Starship, like some shit lib talking about Starship Troopers and talking about the book, always ask them who was it in the book who told who gave the Force, my friends, is violence, the supreme authority from which all other authorities are derived. You ask them who gave that speech to Rico in the book, and if they say Radchek, they're wrong.
Incorrect.
Because it was Dubois. His teacher was named Dubois in the book. Radchek was put into that scene by Verhoeven when he made the movie. It was a completely different person in the book. That is a great way to actually sniff out somebody who's never actually read the book but is trying to talk like they have, is to bring that up. They will get it wrong 100% of the time because their only frame of reference is the movie. All right, let's continue.
And so on. But is it fascist? No, it's just 1950s right-wing and jingoistic. Imagine a sci-fi universe created by an ex-military boomer who has a Clint Eastwood profile picture on Facebook and who can't shut up about how...
He's literally not!
You know what? Hey, hon, what was that story by Heinlein that, what was that channel with Red? They called King Kong Racist, that channel. Overly Sarcastic Productions. What was the one she did a video on about, and it was all about free love and shit?
I forget the name. Is this the
Moon
one
is
where...
the harsh mistress?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. Seriously, bro went from some of those, I will say Starship Troopers is right wing. That is a very accurate statement. The Adam here is objectively wrong at saying it as a point of criticism, but to call Heinlein a right-wing boomer is completely ignoring many of his other bodies of work, which are almost the polar opposite of Starship Troopers.
Well, I'm going to point out that the Moon is a harsh mistress was not left-wing. It literally was pointing out there ain't no such thing as a free lunch.
I mean, yeah.
Nothing's for free.
Yeah, it's not left wing, but like I said, if some of these people read it today,
they missed the point.
I mean, of course, they've also never read Heinlein. I mean, let's be real here. Let's be 100% here. This man has never read Starship Troopers. It is very obvious from his video, and a lot of people who generally criticize Heinlein for writing Starship Troopers have never read Starship Troopers or anything by Heinlein. They probably don't even know he's written other stuff.
I literally have that acronym on my X profile.
Mm-hmm.
There ain't no such thing as a free lunch, and the number of people that get triggered is phenomenal. It's a beautiful thing. I just have
rubbing my temples like I'm a 50-year-old man. That's all.
Hey, bite me.
No, not you. Not you, just the video
I'm
in
55,
general.
You bitch.
All right.
Not you.
See, that's an actual boomer?
Almost
no,
60,
I'm not.
you say.
I'm a Gen X.
Yeah, he's a Gen Xer.
Yeah. All right. Well, but then again, boomer's another nothing word anyway. But anyway, let's keep going. Let's keep going.
Back in his day, everyone worked 26-hour workdays, 10 days a week, and no one complained, as opposed to the weak and entitled generation today.
That just goes back to that, it's always the leftists pointing out how, there were never good times. All the times in the past were always miserable, horrible experiences. Everyone hated each other and suffered under oppression. It's like, go fuck yourself.
The dude grew up during the Great Depression, or was around during the Great Depression.
Yeah, I think he was actually silent generation, not boomer, but this guy
he's 07.
A fun thing about that is you can really see the differences in perspective based off of what people grew up in. He grew up in a time of great scarcity and was probably a likable person. This dude grew up in a time of privilege and is an unlikable twat based off of what we're hearing already.
Hey, listen. Weak men create hard times and all that.
Actually, he didn't grow up during the Great Depression. The Great Depression wasn't until he was in his... he would have had a few years in the Great Depression.
Well, he would have been he was born in 1907, so he died in 88. So this whole thing where he's this caricature of whatever old man he's talking about is just 100% wrong.
Admittedly, he experienced not one but two American Golden Ages. So
all right. Let's keep moving. We'll be here all night. All right.
Military service should be compulsory to teach these soy latte drinking weaklings some discipline. But in person, the guy is nice to you and always offers you beer when you come over. That's the authorial context of the Starship Troopers book, basically.
Then no, it's not, because you didn't even get the
What?
You didn't even get the basics right, you dumbass.
Why does this feel like Take That, Dad?
Yeah,
there's some daddy issues at play here.
I mean,
many such cases with lefties today.
Yeah, this video's a little fatherless. I'm not gonna lie. Now that said, I mean, you should just see this guy's other videos. Like I said, this guy's a misanthrope. Like he genuinely believes we should not colonize space. That's a waste of money and time, and it's too dangerous. It's like
no, we should, because our planet can't support
crossing
us,
the
for
sea was too
infinity.
dangerous.
Yeah, but it's like this guy is genuinely a misanthrope. He also it's pretty clear from his other videos, like he just hates rich people or anybody who's successful and just goes from there. Like,
to him, somebody rich is anybody that makes $5 more than he does.
Yeah, basically.
I mean, he basically posted an image of Trump and Elon, so yeah.
Oh, God.
Yeah, like I mean, like even in a video where he's like actually right in his criticisms of some stupid, wealth-based project, he even then manages to like pivot it more like I'm mad you're successful rather than like bringing up like a lot of salient points. But anyway, let's keep going.
Now, keep in mind, while the book itself isn't fascistic, the Terran Federation in it kind of is.
Nope.
Okay. Oh, just let him cook. Okay. Let him talk.
And the values of the 1997 Starship Troopers movie are, in many ways, the opposite of the books. The director, Paul Verhoeven, grew up...
I'm sorry, is that the
Nazi...
Ostrotska music in the back?
I was about to say.
It's from Papers, Please.
Yeah,
that's how we all know it's the Papers, Please music.
Wait, hold up. So he's using a game that satirizes communism to talk about a movie that fails to satirize.
Specifically Soviet Russia.
We're just gonna keep going.
No, it's East Germany.
We're just gonna keep going, or I'm gonna lose my fucking mind on this point.
Occupation of the Netherlands and didn't really like fascists.
Okay. This is a little bit of context here. People like to bring up, Verhoeven understands fascism. He suffered under it. He was like barely cognizant when it was still a thing, and it was he was like when the occupation ended, he was like 4 years old. Or something like that. He was very young when it ended. He would probably not even have a lot of cognizant memories of his life under fascist occupation.
He was born in 1938.
Yeah, like, or however the fuck old he was.
No.
6.
But yeah, he would have been a kid. He would not have grown up under fascism. It would have ended when he was still a child. He would have grown up in the aftermath. When. He would have grown up in the time afterwards. And the argument that and also this is also an important point. People who argue that Verhoeven understands fascism because he experienced it, just because you experience something doesn't mean you know what it's about. That's an important thing people have to remember. I've experienced a lot of things in life. That doesn't mean I understand them. Like just because it is very clear to me that Verhoeven as a director does not understand anything he makes a movie about, especially fascism. But okay, let's...
I mean, he's not really willing to put in the effort, so...
Well, one more thing, and this is important, is that there's... The other thing is that they talk about how it's so different, and the core thesis of it is the same, and many parts are lifted completely from the book. So just because he didn't read it doesn't mean other people didn't read it, which is important. But also the fact that the only difference is that the aesthetic isn't the same. And that's about it.
That is true, yeah. All right, let's keep going.
Hyper-militaristic ideologies for obvious reasons. So he proceeded to subvert our expectations. Not with medieval anti-air railguns firing tungsten rounds at Mach 5, but by turning the Terran Federation, the Starship Troopers, into a satire of jingoism and fascism. While the book depicts the Terran Federation's campaign against the bugs as a heroic struggle, the movie portrays it as a hopeless war, started on false pretenses, fought by a bunch of propaganda-addled macho idiots marching into certain death.
False pretenses?
Okay. He's bringing up the fanon. It's fanon. It's fan fiction. There's this prevalent belief among people who think they understand what they're talking about with Starship Troopers that in the movie meteor that fell on Buenos Aires was a false flag. This is nowhere in the movie. It's nowhere in the script or the whatever, novelizations or whatever. But did the movie have a novelization? Hollywood would be dumb enough to make a novelization of a movie based on a book.
Yeah, they would be.
But more to the point, it is a complete fabrication. It's never anywhere in the story. And Verhoeven himself has gone on record to say, no, the bugs threw that meteor at Earth. It was actually the bugs.
It's a timeline confusion, as some people have a hard time understanding that it jumps around in time in the movie. And so if you're not paying attention, you're going to miss that and just make assumptions.
Yeah. But this is, but it is lending me to believe that, I'm starting to think this guy didn't watch the movie either. Like, I'm not gonna lie.
I think this guy needs to know more.
He does need to know more. Okay. So I could go into like him calling the soldiers idiots, which is like, that's a very lefty position to just shit on soldiers all the time, like all the time.
They probably believe officers are dignified gentlemen and never do anything wrong.
Oh boy, wait, that guy should have served in World War I. But anyway, continuing.
I feel like, oh shit, okay. I was gonna say, I feel like this shit just reminds me of people who work on like research essays, but then do none of the research on the thing. They just like look up a fucking article from like 2 years ago, briefly describing the situation.
Yeah, his criticism so far. Okay, well, let's. I've got a thing to say, but let's keep going first.
Instead of heroic acts, glorious sacrifices, and cinematic last stands, you just get torn apart by giant bugs. I mean, the whole reason for the war is that supposedly bugs pulled the Javier Milei and destroyed Buenos Aires by launching an asteroid from a different solar system towards Earth.
What?
Oh, fandom wiki. Oh, God.
Hold on. The part that got me, he's trying to say Javier Milei destroyed Buenos Aires.
Who? Wait, what? Huh? What?
Okay. Javier Milei is the current president of Argentina. Look. I apologize to get political, but this is kind of important to understand.
No.
Literally saying,
I'm gonna make a just a statement here. No, get political. That's like the entire point of this the video. The video's already political. This guy already threw that hat in the ring. So throw yours in too, man. Go ahead.
Oh, I'm getting political. Okay, but so in my, no. All right. Javier Milei, he is trying to say Javier Milei destroyed Buenos Aires. No, Argentina is in such a fucked state that sure, it looks bad that Milei currently, inflation's still sky high. Look at the charts that it's actually going down.
Yeah, I know. I've seen that too.
Like this dude's an idiot. Like he's actually like I don't even care if that's a joke. That was just a stupid point.
It's like
an actual stupid retarded.
It's like the point.
Foxtrot point. I got it out of my system. I'm good.
It's like the people who bring up like, well, Donald Trump's a failed businessman. His businesses have all gone bankrupt. It's like, no, franchises people have set up under his name went bankrupt.
No, Trump went bankrupt. Trump went bankrupt twice, but he used tactics that look. He isn't full. The reason a lot of people support him is because he is the only person to ever admit the system is rigged. I used it, and I don't think it should be rigged.
Yeah, that too. All right, okay. Let's continue.
Sorry.
Let's continue.
If anyone is getting Iraq War, Saddam Hussein has weapons of mass destruction vibes.
This movie came out.
Before that.
This movie came out before that.
This
movie came out in this movie came out in the 90s. You dumbass.
You see that?
He's getting his bushes confused. He's getting his bushes confused.
I'm sorry, what?
This guy's trying to say that a movie made in like the mid 90s is satirizing the second war in Iraq.
Oh no, I know somebody was about to ask me a question. That's why I was like,
okay.
That's what, I was just grabbing your attention.
Hey, it's oh god, the number of people that mix them up still is just it's just absolutely phenomenal.
That was like that was like Templin Institute saying the Tau were created to criticize American involvement in the Second Iraq War, and it's like the Tau came out before. The Tau came out before that, you dumbass.
When did the Tau actually come out? I'm curious.
2003. So 2003, 2001.
It was like fucking.
It was 3rd edition, right?
Yeah, it was 3rd edition. I'll look it up later, but still, it's
okay.
like,
Sorry.
I mean, I will look. I'll give him this much. Not Guy Haley. The one who fucks up Eldar for everyone.
Gav Thorpe.
Gav Thorpe said he looked to NATO designations of things for naming things for the Tau for the Apocalypse rulebook, but like that's like an entirely different animal right there, you know?
Did he use the NATO codename for the MiG-15 for everything?
No, he did not. No, don't you fucking say it either.
We're going to be on YouTube. Shush.
That's what the Imperium used for Chaos Fighters. But anyway, continuing.
Yeah, you should. The bug's home system is tens of thousands of light years away. Even if they somehow managed to precisely hit Earth from such a distance, the asteroid would have taken millions of years to get there. So no, the bugs could not have done it. The whole asteroid business also begs the question, if the bugs can pull that off, why don't they keep doing it once humans attack them? Because it's all bullshit.
Okay.
Is he seriously applying real-world physics to a fictional setting?
I mean, he's doing that. He's ignoring the word of the author, which in this case, Paul Verhoeven said himself, it was the bugs. And he's also, listen, if he'd read the book, he'd also understand that, Verhoeven, severely fucked up the destruction of Buenos Aires, because in the book, it's not in the book, because here's the thing, the bugs are actually intelligent in the book, and they are capable of faster than light travel, and they attack Buenos Aires themselves in the book.
Excuse me, Bo. I find the concept of bug that thinks absolutely offensive. I'm sorry.
Hey, but remember, it's a fascist dictatorship, but you're allowed to disagree with the popular opinion on the news.
And you also are allowed to have own private businesses.
It's also such a fascist dictatorship. The government admits when they're wrong.
Yeah, it's such a fascist dictatorship that when the military got, 300,000 soldiers killed in a tactically inept maneuver based on assumptions of their enemy, the guy who did it, stepped down and put a black woman in charge.
The OVA did a really good job of showing the attack on Buenos Aires by the bugs themselves.
Hey, listen, if you want to watch Starship Troopers, this is for anybody who's watching this. If you want to watch Starship Troopers but want to get something that's way closer to the book, look up the Starship Troopers OVA that Japan made. I actually think Sunrise made it. The people who own Mobile Suit Gundam. I want to say they made it. It is really good. It is a really good, much more accurate adaptation of the book versus the Paul Verhoeven's movie.
It's Sunrise.
Yeah, I figured it was Sunrise. Sunrise. The Gundam people did it. But give that a watch instead of the movie if you want a more book accurate experience. It also gets the character's name right because they kind of. I'm not one to scream whitewashing, but his name is Juan Rico in the. Johnny is just his nickname in the book. His first name is Juan. He's a South American dude.
Filipino.
Yeah, he's Latino.
Argentinian.
You can be white. Argentinians are usually white.
Yeah, but
isn't he a Filipino in the book?
In the book,
he is in the book.
In the book, he's Filipino.
Okay, never mind.
All right. Let's keep going. Let's keep more bullshit. More bullshit from this guy.
The asteroid was an accident at best and a false flag operation at worst.
That's not.
I hate you.
Okay.
I hate you so much.
All right, okay. Oh, he's wrong. He's objectively wrong.
Let's keep going. We already talked about this point.
We talked about this point. Yeah, let's keep going.
It got blamed on the bugs to keep the war machine and thus the military-industrial complex occupied.
They weren't even at war. What are you talking about?
Military-industrial complex.
Humanity had been experiencing a long period of peace before the bugs attacked.
Yeah, they didn't even talk about the Stingies or anything like that in the book.
Okay, I'm sorry, but maybe he's on to something. Long period of peace, sudden attack. Maybe
okay, Boobs. I know you're joking, but all the same.
Yes, yeah.
I'm not giving this guy that.
Oh no, I'm not either. It's just funny.
Emphasize the fact that this guy is basically jerking off a director who is, by all rights, a bad actor when it comes to like I don't mean like in an acting sense. I mean he took something that was written a certain way and was like, I don't like thing, therefore I will misconstrue thing. Which is, by definition, a bad actor as far as somebody like interpreting a work.
Yep.
It's somebody who started off with the intent to dislike it. Dude didn't even read more than the first chapter of the book and was like,
"Oh no, it wasn't even."
"Oh,
No,
honey,
no. I'm gonna correct. I'm gonna fact check you live, right there. He didn't read the first. He didn't read the first chapter. He read the first 4 pages.
So basically, like he took a work and smeared the content of it because he didn't like it. And we're supposed to pay more attention to this dude's intentions than say the actual author of the novel.
Yeah, apparently. There's a whole rant to have about that, but let's just keep going. We're 6 minutes into a 22-minute video.
We need to.
Yeah.
In the end, however, all humans accomplish is getting a bunch of soldiers murdered. By the end of the movie, we see literal child soldiers deployed as the Terran Federation is running out of regular troops. And it's not like the bugs are a threat to...
Those aren't... Oh my god. They're not...
Hey buddy, what happened in between A to B? You've gone from A to B. You forgot the little midpoint to where... My bad, yeah, no, A to Z. Sorry. You forgot the little C point in there where the government admits they fucked up and stepped down.
Well, okay, but here's the thing too, that this is another disingenuous point on his part, and that is these aren't literal children. These are...
That's the ad.
Yeah, these aren't literal children. These are like, fresh out of... These are
boots.
These are people fresh.
These are FNGs.
Yeah,
boots.
Yeah, these are people fresh out of boot. They're young, but they are old enough to serve, and they have been through boot camp, and they are out of boot camp. They're
Seth, how young did you look?
God, I was 17.
I was 18. I saw a picture of myself recently. My wife's like, "Who the hell is that?"
For a little bit of context, people who watch the channel frequently will know CDAT is a veteran of the military. So is Zeph.
So is Zeph. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's not like we've got 2 people who've been through this shit, watching this right now, and yeah, when Johnny turns to Ace and says, "We're the old men, Ace." He's commenting on the irony that guys who have been in the fight for altogether not all that long are, older than the new people, but they're not children. They're not child soldiers. These are like, 18, 19, 21-year-olds. It's and like, come the fuck, like, but yeah.
Okay, look. I'm 22. I could join the army today and have a first sergeant that is 2 years younger than me?
No.
Well, okay. Well, not first sergeant, but you could have. I've seen.
You could have a lieutenant. You could have a lieutenant the same age.
Lieutenant, there you
absolutely
go.
Correct.
Like, look. It is perfect. It is possible all ages can join. I'm pretty sure at lowest, I guarantee the Federation at 17 to join. At absolute lowest, they still have a standard to maintain.
You could also listen. I can see maybe that, like, because like this was a thing during World War II where kids would lie about their age to join the military.
There's more thing in World War I.
Oh no, my grandfather lied about his age to join. So,
hey, real quick, CDAT and Zeph, you guys both went to boot camp, correct?
Yeah.
How accurate would you say the boot camp scene in this movie was?
I didn't see anybody get stabbed in the hand. But...
Yeah.
Well, I mean, remember, they're in boot camp for 5 minutes, and the drill sergeant gives a dude a compound fracture in his arm. So, I mean, yeah.
I'm sure they wanted to do that, but they couldn't actually do it.
Well, the co-ed showers. I mean,
no. I mean, he doesn't accidentally give a man a compound fracture. He grabs his forearm and just crack. Breaks that shit.
And then that dude gets killed later. That was wild.
But okay, the front right kid, I didn't look much older than that when I graduated basic.
Okay, real talk. That for the front right, the one they're probably doing. He looks like my brother did, like when I graduated high school, And
he looks like me at 18.
And he looks how my brother looked, when I graduated high school, and my brother had already graduated the year before. So and that's my brother being that's my older brother. So yeah, it's like if you can't just use an appearance. Like, what about the dude behind? What about this dude right behind him? Like right here.
Yeah, that dude looks way older than
or this dude. Or this dude.
Yep.
Or the two young ladies. Holy hell, they look like my granddaughter's age.
Yeah,
honey, it's the soft boy face of consent.
Oh my god!
You know what? Technically, that girl is pretty short. I'm pretty sure she's not old enough.
All right, yeah, the height of consent, of course.
She's not meet the height. All right, gentlemen, we must progress the video, otherwise we'll be here all night.
Yeah. Okay, let's get through the Starship Troopers bit, and then we'll stop to comment again.
To humanity. They aren't like the Zerg, the Tyranids, actively trying to eat humanity. The bugs are on the other side of the galaxy and generally don't bother you unless you bother them first, which humans did by settling on the bugs' home planet. During the closing scene of the Starship Troopers movie, the soldiers capture a brain bug, the bug's equivalent of a command and control vehicle, basically. In this scene, Neil Patrick Harris reads the brain bug's emotions and loudly proclaims it's afraid to the soldiers around him, after which everyone erupts in cheers and the whole scene is played off seemingly as the glorious ending of a righteous military campaign. Except it's not, and the movie goes to great lengths showing you why in the 2 hours preceding this.
I will point out he's completely ignoring like all the fact where the bugs are actively malicious, like
that one that was afraid. Just a little bit before we saw eat and drink the brain of a dude that we'd seen throughout the movie.
Yeah,
technically a prisoner of war.
Yeah, a prisoner of war. And it's the fact that the reason they have the "it's afraid" scene is to juxtapose the fact that the brain bug was all like high in its shit with being superior to humanity and like going to wipe us out before it got captured, and then it's shitting itself in fear. That's the point of the "it's afraid" scene, you disingenuous sow. But anyway, continuing.
People don't watch this shit.
They really don't. Okay, continuing.
First off, as I've said, it was the humans who attacked first. The bugs did not start this conflict.
No, we didn't.
They were attacked based on false pretenses, and they decimated the humans for it. I mean, if the literal child soldiers by the end aren't indication enough, I don't know what to tell you. Hundreds of thousands of human deaths for no reason. That end scene with the brain bug is basically one massive cope by the Terran Federation.
Okay, no, okay, we gotta stop.
But they're just soldiers, so why would we care?
Can I just say, we've only heard 2 minutes about 40k stuff, and we've only heard 5 minutes of fucking Starship Troopers. He hasn't even correlating it to fucking...
Yeah. It's like, okay, so...
Warhammer.
Okay, so... All right. He's completely ignoring... He's completely ignoring events in the movie. He's... I'm starting to think he may have actually watched the movie, and at this point, he's just being disingenuous because he's completely ignoring, the Federation itself is basically a character in this. He's ignoring the Federation's own progression as a character throughout the story, in which they adapt. They go into their first battle with this assumption of their enemy. They get beaten back. They then rethink their strategy. They change the leadership, rethink of strategy. They begin being more, strategic against the bugs because they realize they can't just attack them. They actually have to, because the bugs are, more tactically minded than they believe they would be. And you know what? That's a major point of the movie. It's a major point of the plot progression. And not to mention the fact that he's saying the humans attacked first. No, Mormon settlers settled on a bug planet. And
they were
against the Federation.
Yeah, they were told not to by the Federation. They were told not to settle. They settled anyway, but they didn't attack the bugs. The bugs attacked them. So
Mormons ruin everything.
But yeah, so it's like the bugs attack the bugs struck first. That's like walking onto your neighbor's lawn by mistake and he just blows your brains out with a shotgun. It's like, no, that's like the bugs attack first. You are deliberately portraying the movie wrong at this point. You clearly know the movie and are doing this on purpose to solidify your point. But anyway, continuing.
The director even added a nice little touch. When the bug starts jittering out of fear, the soldiers quickly back away from it. This is not a victory. You captured what is basically a single command and control vehicle at the end of your campaign that cost the lives of hundreds of thousands of soldiers. It's like when the other Federation, the Russian one, exhibits a captured Abrams on Red Square. Yeah, you got that one, congrats, but you also lost more than 18,000 pieces of heavy equipment in Ukraine. And it's just
this is such a
NAFO.
Okay.
Yeah, he's a NAF turd.
Yeah, he's one of those NAFO psychopaths. But anyway, no, it's like, okay, he's complete. Okay, this is why media literacy people are fucking idiots, because he's seeing this body language that signifies defeat, and the Federation is literally not there.
Okay, he's also overstating this, because if you actually read this, it specifies tanks, AFEs, IFEs, APCs, and MRAPs. That's such an unspecific list to just overinflate the numbers. You disingenuous retard.
And the thing here is that, don't get me wrong, I do not like Russia. Fuck Russia, okay? But here's the thing, though. Here's the thing. Disingenuous reporting of wartime losses just because you hate the other side. Congratulations, you are right now, you are being the guy you're accusing the Federation of being. So, I mean, grats on your hypocrisy, I guess, Adam. All right, let's continue.
They're all hypocrites, sir.
Let's continue.
Just the visually confirmed losses, not to mention your casualties. Anyway, the Starship Troopers movie is very clear about it being a satire. The discourse that erupted around it, however, was truly mind-boggling. On one side, you had people with the reasonable take. Everything that happened to humans is basically their fault, the war with the bugs was completely unnecessary, and the Terran Federation is a crazy, jingoistic fascist empire. I mean, the director put Neil Patrick Harris in a literal SS uniform. The message...
Okay. I'm just gonna say this real quick, and then we'll continue. Aesthetics don't matter. What matters is policy, politics, the way the nation works. You could literally dress the most peacefully minded people in the world in Hugo Boss uniforms with skulls on their hats, and it wouldn't fucking matter because they're not fascist.
Now, if you want to make them actually fascist, put them in blue helmets.
That's a whole other argument. Okay.
I need to make a point here because like it's something that's been like rattling in my head recently because I saw a post on this. Basically, like the dude's argument so far seems to be that, you know, Verhoeven had this intent with the movie, but everybody else seems to have missed the point. The problem is like, okay, but your point is going to be lost beneath a movie that slaps. That literally is it. It's like whining that people are into like Fight Club and not being like anti-capitalist or something like that, or, you know, like liking Tyler Durden. It's like, okay, but if you're wanting to make a message, don't make a movie that people find a banger, because they're going to like it for the entertainment and aesthetic value before anything to do with whatever message you're trying to shove down their throat.
Well, it's like a whole other thing. So there's two things on this point. The one is you just brought up that classic meme of where it's like, you know, it's a classic air quotes. It's a stupid fucking meme and I hate it. But it's like, you know, it's the sort of cartoon drawing of the Gundam firing its gun in an arc and this is war is bad. And then there's the dude looking at the Gundam saying, wow, cool robot. It's like, okay, that whole meme is stupid because it tries to make the point that just because you don't care about the message means you're doing it wrong. And you are absolutely right, Ash. No one is required to take your message seriously in art. Like, if somebody wants to enjoy the cool military sci-fi setting for the cool military sci-fi shit and not contemplate the deeper meaning, you know what? That is entirely valid. And to criticize people for, you know, doing it that way is wrong. The other thing, though, is that, like, this is the whole we're coming to the whole death of the author argument here. You know, for those who don't know what death of the author is, it's a communist, it's like a cultural Marxist viewpoint that what an author has to say in a story does not matter, and there's no point in knowing it because only what the audience interprets is what matters. Now, the problem with this, of course, is that at that point, it's like you're just making up fan fiction about a story. You're not actually engaging with the text or the characterization or the themes or any of that. You're just making shit up, basically. You're making shit up. And that's why Death of the Author is a cope. Now I've got shit for arguing against Verhoeven for, going, because naturally, as leftists will flip-flop on these things as easily as they breathe. They will argue that, well, Verhoeven's authorial intent is, if it's a leftist artist, their intent means everything and is completely, completely inarguable. At that point, they're like, well, now you say you don't like Death of the Author, but now you're arguing it. And to which I say, yeah, no, I'm not using Death of the Author. And the reason I'm not is because I'm still recognizing Verhoeven's authorial intent to create a satire of fascism. The reason I'm doing that is because the authorial intent, like any objective point of criticism in art, can be done wrong. He intended to make a satire of fascism. He fucked it up. And that's why people don't agree with him that it's fascist satire. Because he created a human federation where all issues of wealth distribution, everybody lives well. There's no more division between race. There's no more division between gender. Everyone gets along. Humanity is literally at peace. The biggest conflict humanity had was telling the Mormon settlers, hey, don't go to bug space, and they didn't listen. And what was their reaction? Did they kill them? No, they were like, okay, it's your funeral. And it's you can say you want to create a satire of fascism all you want, but what you actually write is what you actually say. What if you can't properly translate your intent from brain to page, then that is a failure of you as an author, and you can't just say, well, my intent was.
Plus, I will also add, when it comes down to it, the words art is interpretive don't stop having meaning just because you want the meaning to be the one that everybody else receives. I can read literally anything and come to a different conclusion about it. I can even spot the intent and still say, I see your intent, but I disagree. This is what I get out of this work. I mean, let's not forget that Ray Bradbury flip-flopped on his own works for years.
Fahrenheit 451, yeah.
And he was like, actually, it's about the dangers of how television is going to replace books as media entertainment. And despite the fact that it's it's such an easy interpretation as a censorship message, that was apparently his intent, which he claimed later on in various interviews after claiming the opposite. The dude basically sucked at getting his intent across.
Yeah, because he made Fahrenheit 451 as a commentary on censorship. He said so himself, and then it was years later he decided to flip flop twice and then go back to censorship. It's like the whole J.K. Rowling thing. How she just keeps tacking where she was getting flack for just tacking more and more shit onto Harry Potter after finishing it. The classic. The students at Hogwarts use disappear and poop them to teleport their
disappear me poop.
Yeah, to teleport their poop away because they don't have toilets in Hogwarts, but it just wasn't part of Harry Potter's story. There is an argument for, say, you have until the time of publication to make your point, but ultimately, the authorial intent is everything. Because if you don't recognize the intent and what the author intended, then you can't criticize the story as to whether he succeeded in doing that. That's the problem with Verhoeven and Starship Troopers. He intended satire. He made a faction you can root for.
You know what's objectively hilarious, bro?
Oh, what?
Okay, whatever the author says is all that matters, correct?
Yeah.
How about when the author says the bugs literally threw the meteor?
Oh no! See. Oh no! You see, Death of the Author, boobs. Learn media literacy. Okay.
It's so funny.
Speaking of
people are so retarded.
Speaking of intent, meaning, and fucking whatever the author's trying to say. I'm trying to watch his videos, The Devil's Advocate. I don't even know what the fuck this guy's point is.
All over the place, man.
It's fascism bad. Your favorite media is fascist. That's literally all I'm hearing.
We literally bring Rack along as like the token liberal, and even he can't defend this.
Look, Rack, I'm just saying, you're our very own. Oh my god, fuck! I forget Dev.
I mean, I respect everybody's opinions.
No. We are not comparing Rack to Short Fat Otaku, because for one thing, Rack. Well, for one thing,
I don't know who that is, because the name Short Fat Otaku makes me want to.
For one thing, Rack is actually cool. Second of all, I'm pretty certain he doesn't spend his entire day simping for Lilith Lovett. But anyway, that's besides the point. Let's we're moving on. We're moving on. We're moving on.
The bug scene is followed up by a propaganda video in which people gleefully tortured the brain bug, so there's that too. But some disagreed with this assessment. A lot of people legitimately did not understand how anyone could take the side of the bugs, empathize with the bugs even, when all the Terran Federation characters are attractive and the bugs are disgusting. And I mean, that's the whole.
I mean, okay. I was there for that whole thread. I was there for that thread on Twitter, and yeah, no, his point isn't that the humans are attractive and the bugs are ugly. His point is that the bugs aren't human. They're not. They're fucking 6, 7, 8 foot tall, 6-legged, alien hell beasts. You can't.
This dude probably unironically believes the blonde hair, blue eyes myth.
Yeah.
Speaking of that, this guy is giving me the vibe that he was on that fucking whole Twitter thing where fucking they were comparing the Tyranids to Judaism.
Whoa! No! We can bring that up, because just wait a second. Just wait, guys. I know what he's about. I know what Adam's about to say. So just wait.
Oh god! Don't tell me I'm right.
Point, the way you instinctively feel about the bugs is how a white supremacist feels about blacks, or how a
oh my fucking god! I was fucking joking.
This man is bug
So I want to point out. This man unironically believes the bugs represent Jews, like they represent Jews, they represent minorities, they represent LGBT people. This man thinks alien monsters that wish to kill everyone represent minority groups in the United States. That is what those are his words.
I was just joking about
they know not what they do.
I was just joking about the alien bugs turning you into the fucking organic slurry part, man. Come on.
The sad part about
that's what the Tyranids do.
Yeah.
If they really would be like he would say, you would be right to fight against them.
It's like,
because you would defend yourself.
I mean, this is okay. It's always legitimately a mask-off moment for a person to make this argument, because all you are doing is revealing your own bigotry here, your own beliefs on what you think minority groups are like. Because no rational human being looks at hold on. No rational human being looks at this or that. Or that, and sees another human being. That's a thing too. Actual neo-Nazis and white supremacists don't think that. That's the crazy part. Because you know what they complain about? You know what they complain about? They complain about the presence of humans who are not white. They don't complain about bugs. They don't complain about. They complain about the humans. They don't. This is like some basic, because I mean, look, I ran with the Chudhammer circles. I've seen the people who complain about like the one or two people you couldn't fill a one-room office with them. In reality, the people who like get mad, like let's say Gadriel and Chiron are not white in Space Marine 2. I don't believe they don't exist. It's just they don't exist in appreciable numbers. But their complaint, they're not comparing, they're not comparing in any capacity bugs to the bugs to the bugs to, like, say, minority groups. They're too busy complaining that the minority groups are present in the story in humans. Like, you can't even criticize the people you're trying to criticize properly, for fuck's sake. Like, how do you fuck that up? I'm sorry. Let's continue.
And the bugs
So
are
serious,
disgusting.
come on.
And I mean, that's the whole point. The way you instinctively feel about the bugs is how a white supremacist feels about blacks, or how a Nazi feels about Jews. Revolting freaks to be crushed under their boots.
Such
Not coincidentally, this is often how Jews were depicted by Nazi propaganda. Disgusting
Bo, I
insects
think
to
this
be
might
purged
get your
from the
video
face of
taken
Earth.
down.
The movie essentially
I can't. No, it won't get taken down because it's his words, not mine.
The propaganda posters, Mike.
Like I said, listen. It's his video. It's his.
And it's
video.
transformative.
Yeah, this is true. Yeah, this falls under transformative. But anyway, okay. Let's continue.
Challenges you to take the side of the group you were conditioned to hate. And oh boy, did many people fail this test. The discourse essentially became an indicator of who would fall for Nazi propaganda, where all the Aryan Germans are depicted as tall, strong and beautiful, and all the supposed subhumans as revolting freaks. With that, Starship Troopers gave us a very important revelation about the importance of aesthetics. If an otherwise horrible...
Okay, we're going... Are we gonna get into the Warhammer part? Like, seriously?
No. This has been literally just, hey, you guys like Warhammer? Well, I'm going to talk about Starship Troopers and why it's bad.
It's like, I mean, do we really even need to add any more commentary on this absolutely asinine belief this man has that these horrible alien monsters are supposed to represent, like, minority groups? Like, I cannot fathom that belief. Like, I can't even...
You know what?
What?
To explain my reasoning of why we need to go into this, let's go back. All right, the Edo period of Japan.
Okay, never mind.
Well, no.
Right.
Okay. Well, here's the one thing I just want to say. We talked about how he mentioned Gamergate before, so 10-year-old thing, and this argument is.
I mean, he wouldn't shut the fuck up about it, but continue.
Yeah, but my point is that he's bringing that up, and he's bringing this up, which is also a fairly old argument. I remember Sargon making a big deal about this like 8 years ago.
Yeah.
So once again, why are we talking about this now?
Let's just
really old arguments.
I mean,
yeah, exactly.
I mean, even the big blow up on Twitter about Starship Troopers was like last year.
Was it last year?
It was in 2003. Yeah, I'm pretty certain.
Oh,
actually, wait.
23.
Wait, he had
20.
He had pictures. Wait, hold on. He had February.
Yeah, February. So almost a year.
It was almost a year ago. Like, look. I was quicker on setting up this takedown of this video than he was on his commentary on that discussion. Almost a year. But anyway, okay. Let's keep going.
Idolizing them and co-opt their visualization about the importance of aesthetics. If an otherwise horrible faction is depicted as badass and handsome in an IP, some people will start idolizing them and co-opt their visuals, no matter how monstrous the faction is or how much satire you heap on.
You probably hate the Roman Empire.
Okay. I think I see where. Okay. So let's first of all, let's do a bit of a post-mortem on the Starship Troopers part of this video. It took him 9 minutes to try to get to the point that, if you don't get the aesthetics right, people will side with the faction. I mean, first of all, again, that's a disingenuous point. People side with the Federation because, again, Verhoeven in his massive fit of Dunning-Kruger decided to, make a faction that is objectively good, no racism, no sexism. Everyone is well off. Mankind is at peace. And then decide, oh, hey, these alien bugs throw a wrench in that for no goddamn reason. And kill millions of humans. So we go to war with the bugs. It's not about aesthetics. It's about the fact that the story runs counter to what he's trying to say. And I get the distinct feeling, now that we're going to the 40k part of this, we're going to run into that problem again with Adam's argument. Who bets? Who's betting?
Can I say something funny, Bo?
What's
I
up?
bet.
The words Roman Empire escaped my lips, and I
And then
immediately
Gilliman
look
showed
upon
up.
my father. Father!
For those who are unaware, Boobs is a bit of a fanboy for the Smurfs.
minor bit. I think of Rome every day. In fact, I'm playing Total War Rome 2 right now. I think of Rome right now, at this very instant. I always think of Rome.
All right, let's go.
This brings us to Warhammer 40k. Let's consider
It only took you 10 minutes of your 22-minute video, but that's besides the point. Okay.
its opening paragraphs. It is the 41st millennium. For more than 100 centuries, the Emperor has sat immobile on the golden throne of Earth. He is the master of mankind by the will of the gods, and the master of a million worlds by the might of his inexhaustible armies. He is a rotting carcass, writhing invisibly with power from the dark age of technology. He is the carrion lord of the Imperium, for whom 1,000 souls are sacrificed every day so that he may never truly die. Vast armies give battle in his name on uncounted worlds, but for all their multitudes, they are barely enough to hold off the ever-present threat from aliens, heretics, mutants, and worse. To be a man in such times is to be one amongst untold billions. It is to live in the cruelest and most bloody regime imaginable. These are the tales of those times. Forget the power of technology and science, for so much has been forgotten, never to be relearned. Forget the promise of progress and understanding, for in the grim dark future, there is only war. There is no peace among the stars, only an eternity of carnage and slaughter, and the laughter of thirsting gods.
Sounds awesome.
Yeah, no, cool setting. It sounds fun. But in all seriousness, though, okay, I'm gonna make a prediction here. He's gonna bring up the cruelest and bloodiest regime imaginable line when, I mean, like, let's be real here. This opening text was made during first edition, and
also it kind of justifies the absolute crap out of the Empire. I'm just gonna say.
Yeah, no, it's like the whole bloodiest regime imaginable thing is, you know, people really misinterpret that. The whole point is that, you know, it's supposed to show how, you know, the Imperium has to be to make it to tomorrow. But
Am I crazy, or did he skip the middle paragraph?
It did.
He did.
Yeah, he did. But yeah, it's like the Imperium has to be, because we'll undoubtedly go further in detail into this, but the Imperium has to be that way to make it to the next day, to just to survive.
It shows how dire the situation is.
Yeah,
they have to be this way.
Yeah, because it's like when you actually, you know, look into Warhammer, you will notice that, you know, it's like the Imperium isn't even the cruelest and bloodiest regime in Warhammer.
Hey, Zeph.
Yeah.
When did you go through basic?
2008.
Okay. How many times did they say, "Pretty please, could you please get up and get dressed? We'd really like you to join us today."
No, not so much.
So it was, by all standards, modern and even 20 years ago, cruel and abusive.
I mean, yeah, because you're a soldier. They got to make you tough to fight a fucking war.
Now, in my era, they could still bunk flip. They could still, let's just say, they couldn't hit you, but they could hit you. Okay.
Hey, their hands didn't touch you. The brim of their hat is not their hand.
Oh no! For example, they would walk around with a whip antenna with a tennis ball taped to the end of it, like when we were low crawling or practicing. And if you raised your head, they'd smack you in the helmet. So that was a bullet, you dumbass.
All right.
So they had the whole point is objectively, cruelty and malice are, well, they're objective terms. It could be a hell of a lot worse. You could have a Drakari land on, Drakari fleet land near you. How would you like that? That would be great.
Hey, Dad, I'd love you as a drill.
You wouldn't.
All right. Let's keep going.
The 40k universe is a rough place. It's basically war and suffering turned up to a ridiculous level, and it kinda works. Warhammer 40k manages to straddle the line between epic and silly, nailing the perfect ratio of the two. And this works really well.
I'm just going to make the quick comment that people really got to stop looking at Warhammer 40k and say, oh, it's such a silly, goofy, haha setting. It's like, it is really not. It is not realistic, but that doesn't mean it's, comedic.
People but really, the orcs are so heckin' funny.
I don't know, Bo.
I
don't know, Bo. Reading about Ultramarines slaughtering a refugee camp, and then one of them being so kind of miffed about it. he gets a tattoo to permanently remind himself of that heinous act.
Oh, you mean the group of survivors they had to silence to maintain their covert operation that could literally decide the fate of Ultramar?
Yeah, really funny. That scene, really funny, really
when the Grey
humorous.
Knights had to bleed fucking Sisters of Battle because they needed more protection
Not
on the
canon
holy
anymore.
protection. I know it's not. But
still,
still,
they retcon that. But okay.
No, I know.
Okay. So, but we're getting a little insight into his views of 40k immediately off the bat, and that he does not take it seriously. So that's what him calling it silly tells me. He does not.
I want to say.
Go ahead.
Sorry. I want to say it's kind of ironic because like the same people insisting that, oh, it's really satire of fascism and you really should understand that they're making fun of you. Yeah, that kind of person. It's funny how they go from that to this is a silly goober setting. Everything's really silly and goofy and it's really not that serious. It's like, where was that energy 5 minutes ago when you were basically just shy of calling somebody a fucking fascist? Because they really like Krieg.
Oh yeah.
I freaked for a second.
Oh yeah. No. They absolutely they will absolutely flip flop on that. They will go from you have to take it seriously because it's making fun of you, fascist, to why are you taking it so seriously? It's just a silly setting. It's they will lean heavily on appeal to triviality fallacy when they are pointing out that when you are pointing out that their arguments make no sense. That is exactly what they do. The seriousness of 40k depends entirely on how they can use it against you.
What fits their needs.
Yep. All right, let's continue.
For the board game, you both bring out your armies you spent 200 plus hours painting, one of you fields Chaos Marines, the other Astra Militarum, and you duke it out in this silly but epic setting, having lots of fun in the process. This over-the-top horrifying universe is a great niche for tabletop games played by nerds, including yours truly. But what if you want to make a universally appealing AAA video game? How do you implement this idea that everything in the grimdark future is horrible, these soldiers are brainwashed drones dying for nothing, and that the wars you fight are completely hopeless, and all of you are essentially doomed? How do you make an enjoyable AAA game around these ideas? Games Workshop thought long and hard and decided that they'll just kind of forget about most of the grimdark stuff. The Space Marine game.
Look. I'm going to say this. I'm going to say this. I'm going to say this, and then we're going to keep going, or we're going to be here all night. You cannot say in any level of seriousness that Space Marine 2 is not a grimdark story. Like, there is no justification for that view of Space Marine 2 as a story unless you didn't fucking play it.
Quick question. Is Space Marine 2 spoilers allowed since the game's been out for over a year?
We're allowing spoilers.
Okay, I'm going to do light spoilers for like the middle of the game.
Out for a year, right? What are you
talking about? Long enough. Okay, just go on.
My brain is not working with time. But anyway, yeah, you remember that part where Charon fucking freaks out because his friend from another platoon basically gets shot and dies immediately.
He gets blown up and a piece of steel rebar goes through his eye, but yeah.
But that's not grimdark, apparently. Like, you had this whole fucking sick battle with your brother in arms, and then all of a sudden, bam, he dies to shrapnel, and then he freaks out. That's not grimdark?
Also,
I don't know, a planet falling to bugs. Sorry.
Also, his argument really seems to be coming down to I didn't like this game because it wasn't about the aspects of Warhammer that I wanted it to be. It's like fucking like people who bitch about Isekai because it's not like Overlord. Yeah, it's like, I'm sorry, just because like this story isn't about like, the grim darkness and how like life is suffering and how like, being in the Imperium sucks and whatnot, doesn't mean that the story lacks that sort of je ne sais quoi, if you will. It's just it's choosing not to be absolutely miserable about it.
Yeah,
or even go ahead, both.
It's basically what it is. It's these people are trying to argue that Warhammer 40,000 is satire, but then when the fact that the setting isn't satire smacks them across the face, they get upset and consider it a failure of the setting and not a failure of themselves. That's the problem. That's what he's doing here. Space Marine 2 was grimdark, but it wasn't, fucking tongue-in-cheek, Titus looks at the camera and saying, fascism is bad. You know, he didn't do that. So the fact he didn't do that, you know, because the setting is not satire, flies in the face of Adam's preconceived notions on what 40k should be, and he's suffering cognitive dissonance as a result.
Adam drinks RC Cola.
Probably. All right, let's keep going.
Games, while containing hints of the absurdity of the Imperium, are for the most part made to make the player feel like a cool, epic, badass war hero soldier mowing down thousands of enemies without breaking a sweat. And with that, Games Workshop has made the biggest mistake possible when it comes to depicting fascists.
Talk about what?
I said, is he talking about me? No, I'm sorry.
Okay.
That was wrong.
Okay.
So Titus is blonde hair, blue-eyed, guys? I didn't know this.
Okay. Let's keep going. When
it comes to depicting fascists, they made them appear cool and badass. And yes, Space Marines are fascists. They're turbo space Nazis who will turn you into minced meat if you say something they deem heretical. Atrocities, purges, and genocides are just part.
I mean, okay. I mean, there's the whole argument to be made that the Imperium of Man is not a fascist. That is not fascist in the least, because it is far too decentralized and fails at all 3 points of, you know, what fascism is as an ideology. That being nothing against the state, nothing outside the state. You know, but it's nothing but nothing but the state. The 3 points. Okay. Fascism is a 3-point political system that basically follows, it follows 3 points. Nothing but the state, nothing outside the state, nothing against the state. And, yes. The Imperium fails at all 3 points.
He's also saying, go ahead, Bo.
Okay. Nothing but the state. This has failed immediately because the Imperium of Man this is what the Imperium of Man actually is. It is a feudal, theocratic, tributary empire. It is the planets or sectors of multiple planets are basically what form governing bodies. The central government, that being the High Lords of Terra and the Administratum and all that, have very little control over anything. The most control they can exert are the imperial tithe, basically tax collection. Other than that, planets and organizations of sectors basically form their own little sub-kingdoms within the Imperium. They completely rule themselves. There is basically there's no oversight as long as you're paying your taxes and worshiping the Emperor. So let's see what else. Nothing outside the state. I mean, okay, that's point 2. The Imperium is, we as we already said, this again fails because it's feudal. The other thing is that, fascism is a notoriously secular ideology. It disdains religion because religion competes in the minds of people for, with the, religion and the state compete with each other for the minds of the people. The Imperium is theocratic. Being theocratic automatically disqualifies it from being fascist. There's also the fact that, again, sub-kingdoms, secondary, there's, independent or quasi-independent lesser empires within the Imperium, like Ultramar or the Adeptus Mechanicus, who are basically, they are less part of the Imperium and more working with them as part of a mutual defense pact. So the Imperium fails at point 2. For point 3, nothing against the state. The central government of the Imperium competes with itself. It's not so much a government so much as it is a bunch of smaller governments that are all kind of working together for mutual survival. Like, that's what the High Lords of Terra basically are. Because, also the fact that the Imperium does not have a dictator. It's run by a senate. It's an oligarchical senate, but it's a senate. They do not have a central dictator. In fact, the 2 times the 2 times they've had a central dictator, they overthrew him and put the Senate back in charge. It being Draken Vangerich during the after the War of the Beast and
Goj, wasn't it?
Goj Vandire.
Yeah, Goj Vandire.
Goj Vandire, yeah.
Yeah, Goj Vandire during the Age of Apostasy. Those were during those times. you could argue the Imperium was fascist. The problem is that the Imperium killed both of them, overthrew them, and reestablished the Senatorum Imperialis as the ruling body. Both times.
Didn't
that would have been
the
dictatorial.
Emperor not even fully control the Imperium? Like, didn't he also, let his sons dictate some things?
Okay, the Emperor let the Primarchs, largely. Okay, so the Emperor was, running the Great Crusade, and then the Primarchs below him had, their own degree of control over the Great Crusade to varying degrees. But when it came to the day running of the Imperium of Man, he had the Senatorum Imperialis all the way back then running the show. And as a matter of fact, the fact that the Emperor wanted mortals to actually be the ones who control the Imperium was something that chafed with some of the Primarchs. Specifically the traitor ones.
Because isn't the whole fucking thing about the Emperor is that mankind is the one to rule the stars, so he himself is not the only one controlling it, but the people themselves?
He didn't, for example, he made the Space Marines to fight the Great Crusade and to reconquer the stars. And then it was, kind of a question, well, what's going to happen to the Space Marines once it's over? Because the Emperor doesn't want the Space Marines ruling humanity. He wants humanity ruling humanity.
If you want to say anything, the Imperium is that, besides what it actually is a feudal autocracy, you could say they're nationalist.
I mean, yeah, but granted, of course, nationalism is one of those words that, shit libs
don't understand.
Shit libs like, tighten their puckers and scream about it, but they don't actually understand it.
What nationalism is a system of government that's basically my country over yours, ruled with. By the way, nationalism includes religion. That's another reason a certain mustache man wasn't a nationalist. Fun fact.
Yeah.
Nationalism includes a state religion.
Yeah.
Usually Christianity.
Yeah, it's like you could argue they're nationalist. I mean, in actual definition, nationalism is about my country first, you come second. It's about caring about your people and your territory over other people. Once people argue that means nationalism is all about conquering other countries and making it your territory, which is not true. We didn't argue. We were talking earlier that people's definition of fascism. This fucking Adam. Somebody has this word on my brain right now. We were arguing. We were arguing. We were discussing how the term nationalism is misunderstood by a lot of people because they don't want to actually know the definition. They want to know their preconceived notion. I mean, kind of like fascism. But anyway, that's okay. Let's continue.
Let's actually continue.
Yeah.
For the course for them. If your service to the Imperium means mowing down 10,000 civilians because there might be heretics among them,
that's
so
a bug,
be it.
not a civilian.
You're murdering women and children without any second thought or remorse because you are a mindless drone bred for combat, and that's just what it's like to live under the cruelest and most bloody regime imaginable.
Okay.
More Xenos. Still no civilians.
You know what? Hey, listen.
Civilians of the Imperium.
Hey, first of all, A+ editing. They didn't even bother to use frames from the show. He used he used a picture from the fucking Warhammer community website for this.
Didn't even crop it either.
Yeah, he didn't even crop it right. But I mean, he's trying to use that argument that Space Marines and Imperial Guardsmen are unthinking drones who just kill because they're told, and it's like. This is how I know this man is a tourist, because nobody who's actually read Warhammer would say that. Nobody who's actually read and understands Warhammer.
You couldn't get halfway through a Gaunt's Ghost novel with that concept.
Yeah, no, you couldn't.
You're telling me all the Space Marines are from different planets and they all have their own different cultures from when they were born?
And they're
what?
And they all have their own
chapter culture.
Yeah, and they all have their own, they all have their own personalities that that they're not just they're not just faceless soldiers, they're people too. Like this. I'm pretty certain if this man read Rinceworld, he'd probably have an aneurysm.
Yeah.
When he gets to the part where should
I throw another copy at him?
Huh?
Should I throw another copy of Rin's World at someone?
Yeah, go ahead. Well, like we get like no, seriously, when he gets to the part where the chapter master of the Crimson Fists, carries that woman who's exhausted herself trying to carry her children as they're trying to escape the orcs through a snowy mountain pass. It's like you cannot read that and then tell me, Space Marines are unthinking drones who don't care about people. But of course, granted, again, we're back to the point. It's the fact that what Warhammer is clashing with his preconceived notions of what he thinks it is, and is creating cognitive dissonance. So in his mind, Warhammer is wrong for writing the Imperium as people. But okay, continuing.
If you doubt me, I invite you to check out the episode in The Guardian of Ghosts from the Hammer and Bolter series, where we are treated to a scene of a purged Forge world. No, wait, that's the Adeptus Mechanicus thing, alright. Craft world. That's a giant...
I don't know if that was a joke or not, but...
Just continue, he was
space
trying to be funny.
Where the Eldari, the space elves, live, home to millions at minimum. Well, the noble Ultramarines massacred the entire Forge world, murdering untold thousands of men, women, and children, because...
They're Xenos. Who cares?
Actually, no. I'll make a better argument. That is actually a really bad episode of Hammer and Bolter, because it is the problem with it is that it is a little clarification. Do you know who wrote that episode?
No.
Aaron Dembski-Bowden wrote that.
Oh god.
Oh boy.
Never mind.
now for those who don't understand, people call him ADB for short, because because he didn't want to have his wife take his name, so that should say a lot about him to begin with. But okay, so here's the problem with Aaron Dembski-Bowden, or ADB. He wrote I'll admit, a lot of his early work, actually slaps. Good stories. He wrote Hell's Reach, for fuck's sake. That's my favorite 40k novel. I would never criticize him for, everything he writes, because he wrote a lot of good shit. And then he got comfortable with success, and he started not writing so good, and more of his retarded policies his retarded beliefs started leaking into his stories, like the fact he's a giant Chaos fanboy and likes to basically flanderize the Imperium in the writing. Like, he wrote this episode of Hammer and Bolter, and he basically just the Ultramarines, Primaris Marines at that, their entire presence in the story is kind of a what the fuck to begin with. They just kind of show up and just start killing people in a craft world. I mean, I'm going to be completely honest, the ability to purge a craft world is just
not something one chapter alone would be able to do.
Yeah, like not only one chapter alone, but I mean, it could, the Ultramarines, to stand a chance, would have to deploy at chapter strength, and that just doesn't happen.
No.
They don't do that.
We could deploy one Ultramarine and kill all of the Eldar.
Okay,
throw Malum Cato at the problem.
Leave Malum Cato alone.
Okay, Boobs. I get you're an Ultramarine fanboy, but we're talking serious talk right now.
Well, in lore, there was, and I won't get into which book, but there was a book where they discussed having to bring 5 craft worlds into an incident, and that is earth-shatteringly huge. Yeah, that's for scale. That is insanity.
Like a single craft world. Normally it takes something like a massive demonic incursion or a Tyranid high fleet to destroy a craft world. A company of multiple companies of Space Marines would not be able to do it. But but more importantly, it's the fact that the Ultramarine attack is complete in the animation. It's completely contextless. It just happens. There's no story reason for them to be doing it. In fact, which craft world it is completely, I don't think it's brought up in the story. It's been a while since I've seen the episode. I will fully admit that. So if the craft world name is brought up, if you're watching this and you know the name of the craft world from that story, just type it in the comments or whatever, just because I actually kind of want to know. But I do not remember them actually saying the name of the craft world. This is a completely it's a completely contextless event, specifically meant to, like, you know, pull it, like, it's a very manipulative story. It exists to pull at your heartstrings with the main character looking for the soul stone of his dead mother. But the problem is that stories like, you need to couch stories like that in proper context and not just like a random battle. You like, why are the Ultramarines there? Why are they attacking? It's like, Ultramarines would not attack a craft world without due reason. So the story fails. It's very much that kind of ADB wanted the payoff, but he didn't want the setup. You know what I mean?
What is he, J.J. Abrams?
Oh god.
Yeah.
No, not enough lens flare for that.
Yeah, not enough lens flare. Too few frames per second of animation in the Hammer and Bolter episodes. But anyway, right? Okay, so that's everything wrong with this particular story. So with that context, let's continue.
They were Xenos, therefore degenerate, therefore worthy of death. Shout out to Purity Seal for this lore tip, by the way.
Who the fuck is this guy?
I don't know. Wait, okay, but let's see what he has to say about these guys.
You can find his channel under @ThePuritySeal. In popular first-person shooters, however, such things cannot be depicted because your game will be banned worldwide.
What are you talking?
I'm sorry, why are we bouncing
No. Hold on, no. We're not going to continue. We're going to stop and talk about this. What's he mean? What the fuck does he mean? It'll be banned worldwide if you depict shit like that.
I didn't even hear that part.
He's literally showing a picture of something that directly contradicts his own statement on what will happen. That modern Call of Duty. What is it with these people on YouTube being
a video we've watched, Bo?
So why the fuck do people keep posting about Call of Duty and like 3 other things that are all similar?
What is it with these people trying to criticize Space Marine 2 being completely fucking retarded about Modern Warfare 2? Bricky did it too!
That's what I'm saying, Bo. We've watched how many videos of Space Marine 2? It always goes back to Modern Warfare 2.
Oh, okay.
If we watch your third review and we get another reference to no Russian, I'm just gonna assume this is gonna be a trend.
Hold on. Maybe he just watched Bricky's video and then just said, "Okay."
Listen,
he has good points.
You know what? I believe that's Zeph. But okay, let's keep going.
I got some
A
good
Warhammer
points. I'm gonna
40k
use it.
shooter game true to the lore would be a war crime simulator.
Remember, no Russian.
And it would just be weird playing as a psychotic, murderous maniac committing crimes against humanity for 8 hours without any self-awareness or remorse. Actually, that sounds like super fun. And wait, I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. Is he? Okay. Look, buddy. Okay, I'm just gonna make this point, and we're gonna keep going. We're gonna keep going after I make this point, guys. But I'm sorry, but soy jacks only work on leftists. I
got a fucking headache now, dog.
Anyway.
How dare somebody say something super fun and enjoys playing the game?
Yeah, okay, continuing.
This video is for people 13 and above. Who let these children in here? But I love playing as an unrepentant murderous psycho. Yeah, try playing Mass Effect as a renegade. Don't believe me? Apparently, according to Mass Effect player stats, 92% of players played as Paragon and only 8% as renegade.
Okay. There's so many reasons this is not an argument, and let's name a few. Okay, first of all, your argument is that because more people played Paragon than Renegade, then that makes it not okay to just want to play a game for the ultraviolence. Like, so you're bringing up. So your argument is that player preference determines what you're allowed to enjoy. So people aren't allowed to enjoy things for what they want. That's what you're saying here?
I mean, that's a leftist take, if ever there was one. That's basically how leftists are. They prefer media to either be appreciated unironically or not at all. Or appreciated ironically or not at all.
That's why you have to have your media literacy degree.
You see,
yeah.
I'd also argue more people didn't play Renegade because BioWare neutered the fuck out of Renegade as a concept as the story went on, to the point where by the time he got to Mass Effect 3, Renegade went from full-blown space racist who would gladly kill his own compatriots and throw the Citadel Citadel space into chaos by deliberately getting the leadership killed so humanity can take over. Yeah, that was Renegade in Mass Effect 1. By Mass Effect 3, Renegade was just Paragon, but with mean words. They completely butchered the idea of a Renegade playthrough by the second game, no less. Because by the second game, like, you can't agree with the Elusive Man. Even if you get the Renegade ending, like, even if you take the Renegade path in at the end of 2, you don't agree with the Elusive Man, and you leave Cerberus. It's just that, you were mean about it, basically.
You were sassy.
Yeah.
Quick survey, real quick, if you don't mind, Bo.
Hmm?
Who all played Force Unleashed?
I did.
I did.
I did
Long
not
time
have
ago.
taste.
Long time ago.
Gentlemen, kill Darth Vader or save your crazy girlfriend?
I killed
Save
Darth
the
Vader.
girlfriend.
Kill Darth Vader.
Girlfriend.
All right. So good. I'd say out of my responses, I'd say 3 of them went kill Vader. So 3 of us, 4 if you count me, chose to become the ultimate Sith, baby.
Man, like,
just saying,
like, I don't know. It's such an unironically fascist concept that, because, I mean, first of all, arguing with Mass Effect 3, arguing with the Mass Effect series as your why you should, why people who just want to play for the violence are wrong is cherry picking. Like, because Mass Effect is entirely a different setting from Warhammer tonally.
It's also a game, and games are made to be played, and you can play them how you like.
Yeah, but more the point, EA, is that you're arguing 2 entirely different settings tonally, and that will affect how people perceive the setting. Mass Effect is a much more hopeful setting where uniting against uniting everybody, human or otherwise, against a greater enemy that threatens everyone is a major theme of the setting. And that's going to shape the way people play the setting or play games in the setting. When you're arguing with Warhammer, you're talking a setting where humanity at one point tried to get along with everyone, and the moment they were rendered at their weakest, all those alien allies betrayed humanity, backstabbed them, tried to genocide them, and so humanity's a little, justifiably righteously mad at them. And every time they've met pretty much every time they've met Xeno since, it's been hostile. Like, they fire first. Even the Tau fired first. So it's like, you're comparing a setting where everyone has a chance to get along with a setting that fully embraces the Dark Forest hypothesis. So, and that's going to shape how people view the setting, because each setting has its own context. So trying to argue, well, Mass Effect, therefore you can't in Warhammer, is that is a logical fallacy.
Well, in fact, just to feed on that, the juxtaposition between the two is a common meme to discuss the differences between, because one is considered to be the extreme of one and then the other.
Yeah.
So it's very common to it's a bad faith argument.
Yeah, it's a
I mean, we are talking a dude whose argument so far seems to be that Games Workshop fucked up with Space Marine 2 because they made it exciting and not like drab and constant take that against the player. It basically amounts to, if you're not being propagandized against the concept of fascism, then it's pro-fascism and it's bad and you shouldn't make it.
I just don't know how he's correlating fucking Starship Troopers to Space Marine, and how he's how he's fucking correlating those two media pieces to now fucking Mass Effect.
I'm just hung up on the fact he tried to.
How do you jump?
Listen, I'm just hung up on the fact he thinks Soy Jack applies to the right. But anyway, we're gonna keep going.
Most people just don't want to be an asshole, not even in video games. But even if a Warhammer shooter was true to form and the player was made to feel like a disposable cog in a purposeless murder machine tasked with the occasional genocide, there are people who would love that and would absolutely play that game. I get that. But if you're making a game, you want to appeal to the widest audience possible, not just to people on terror watch lists. In Space Marine 2,
That's extremely disingenuous.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Fuck you.
Hey.
Also, remember when we said this wasn't grimdark? Wasn't the beginning probably the most grimdark part about this game?
Okay, we're gonna keep going. We're gonna keep going. I'm just saying it's not doing his argument any favors. The fact he's using very clear screenshots from YouTube rather than say his own gameplay. I'm just gonna put that out there.
Honey,
what?
These people don't play these games or play the game at all.
True.
Yeah, of course they're gonna get footage from elsewhere.
All right,
if I want to be a cog in the machine, I'll go play Gears.
All right, let's keep going.
The latest Warhammer 40k game ended up doing the former, choosing appeal over what I would call honesty about its universe. You're not a mindless, psychotic drone killing in the name of a doomed fascist empire, but a noble, heroic warrior protecting your home from freaks and degenerates. The overt satire is basically gone because it had to be. There are allusions to the Imperium being bad, but not nearly overt enough.
Defenders of humanity.
He doesn't even know.
That's the thing that people don't seem to get when they're doing the whole, oh, well, Space Marines are mindless. It's like, are they really? Because, on the same hand of, they've got like brainwashing, you also got the fact that they got this whole warrior culture thing. They got hobbies, they read, they have varied lives outside of fighting.
Space Marines aren't even brainwashed. It's like brainwashing is not the right term. They're
psycho conditioning.
Yeah, they're basically completely reprogrammed into different beings from humans. It's not even like, you can't even call it brainwashing. It's like they just think differently than mortals,
They're simply transhuman.
And it's like, it's really like, and this is why it's really striking me. This man is purely a tourist who has never engaged in Warhammer before this video, because he is not arguing this like somebody who has ever read anything Warhammer related. He's arguing this like somebody whose entire concept of what Warhammer is from what other people told him, from a very closed circle of people with a very specific opinion.
He did it. He made a video worse than Bricky's. At least Bricky, read a book.
Yeah.
A few books, I might add.
Granted, it didn't stop him from criticizing part of one of those books before he read it. But anyway, continuing.
Warhammer 40k true to form would be like a version of Modern Warfare where every second mission is no Russian, only even more bloody and deranged. But if
continuing.
anyone released a game like that, most countries wouldn't even let them publish it. Keep in mind, by the way, that I do like Space Marine 2, and I do think it's a good game. Just before
so show us your gameplay.
Start yelling at me how the game isn't bad, actually. I agree, it's a good game, it's cool and epic, and I like it. But there are overarching issues with it, which we're currently discussing. Now, the reason why the Warhammer 40k books and tabletop games are allowed to get away with containing atrocities, while video games aren't, is because in the game you would get to act out said atrocities.
This isn't a thing that happens. This is
only real freaks in the hobby do that kind of shit.
It's okay if I read it, but not if I play it. Okay.
This is not okay. There's so many layers of this is not a thing that happens going on right now. In no market, okay, maybe Germany, Australia, but they're not real countries. No offense, EA. But
you've done it, Adam.
But it's like
you made him fucking speechless for a hot minute.
This has never been a thing in modern AAA gaming where ultra violence is like, you can't do that because it'll be banned. It's like, what fucking country do you wait? Can anybody identify this dude's accent? Is he German?
No, he
Not
is. He is. His nationality is Hungarian, but he's from the Czech Republic.
Okay.
Can I?
It's like okay. So maybe he knows a little more about fascism than we think. He lives in the EU, but that's besides the point. It's like, so he's arguing that if you well, first of all, this argument has so many holes in it because of his. It has so many holes. He's trying to argue that if it was a proper 40k game, it would just be constant murder all the time. No character development, just murder, atrocity, war crime, murder. It's like, and then he's using the books as an example of like, oh, but the books can get away with this, but a game can't, so they had to lie about how the setting is in the game. The books aren't like that.
Can we talk about what happens in hey Bo, look at that second book. Look, there it is again.
Oh, Horse Rising.
There it is.
Oh my god.
Oh, hey,
I didn't even look at the books. I didn't even look at the books. Oh my god, I'm about to have a goddamn aneurysm.
Double eagle.
Double fucking eagle. He has double fucking eagle on that. The one of the most fucking that whole fucking story is about oh my god.
Okay, so
Caiaphas
Dan
books.
Abnett, Ravnor, the Omnibus, Xenos by Dan Abnett, Eisenhower, Xenos
Oh,
specifically.
okay. He has literally picked a bunch of books like that are all about the humanity of the characters as they're caught in war. And caught in war and the situations there. It's not all like open warfare. Like Ravnor and like Eisenhorn are way more about like, you know, clandestine Inquisition shit. But like they've got like he's got Double Eagle, the two Caiaphas Cain books he's got on there. Horus Rising, like Fulgrim, Hell's Reach, Soul Hunter, a Betrayer. These are all books about all of the characters in this. The focus is on their humanity. It's not about violence and killing and murder and war crimes. These are books about like the whole point of like a big part about like Double Eagle. I fucking love Double Eagle. A big part of the story is how the war affects the lives of the soldiers and how it's, you know, dragging them down and how trying to fighting this war against chaos on it's called Anothis. That's the name of the planet they're fighting on. This planet called Anothis. How this fighting the chaos who are trying to take over the world and, you know, slave everyone on it. How it's affected the lives of the civilians. It's like these books aren't just about killing and fighting. These are like very human stories, and that's like it's like this just shows how this man, he knows nothing. He knows nothing of this setting. He legitimately has never engaged with Warhammer before he started editing this video.
I think that's
You know
one whole
nothing, Adam
PMG
something.
to just a different fucking books. So you probably didn't even read half or many of these.
There's no way. There is again, we're back to the two possibilities. He is either experienced and lying, or inexperienced and therefore ignorant. Those are the choices. He's either lying or ignorant. There is no.
We're just fucking stupid and can't read.
That would again, that would fall under
ignorant.
Yeah, it's like that would fall under lying. That would fall under lying. Again, there was no position for him with this argument that does not portray him as somebody who is either, again, lying or ignorant. Those are your choices. For anybody who wants to try and defend this guy in the comments, those are your choices. He's either lying or ignorant. Okay, continuing.
Very least, we would get vivid depictions of them. You don't just read about, say, Space Marines murdering 10,000 women and children, or you don't just play with miniatures of a Space Marine faction, which according to the lore once murdered 10,000 women and children. Nope, this is an interactive video game where you are a Space Marine, and congratulations.
That's AI art.
It is really bad AI art.
That's AI art. That's AI art. That's AI art.
Because the fucking chest Aquila is on his back, and there's no power pack.
Pauldron has two rims.
I want to point out this guy criticizes Elon Musk and, like, you know, the use of AI on Twitter and all that stuff.
But he used a picture of AI art.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Yeah, he used AI. Like, if you need anyway.
Your next mission is to purge a civilian slum of 10,000 where the presence of heretics is suspected. Here's your chainsword and plasma incinerator. Good luck. And then you get dropped onto the map with a counter appearing on your screen, standing at 0 out of 10,000.
Hey, which book of those that you showed on screen does any of this happen?
None of them. Literally none of them.
No, he's saying we are playing the mission from Warcraft 3, where you have to what was it?
He legitimately thinks every single Warhammer story outside of Space Marine 2 is literally just no Russian for like 300 pages. Like, that's legitimately
Man, if
what
only
he
he
believes.
read what he
Fucking video.
criticized.
Yeah. Imagine actually reading the thing you want to criticize or playing the thing you want to criticize. But anyway,
to try wouldn't have fun playing it if the game was even legal to distribute. Even
it's legal to distribute. You fucking...
though such a game would fit perfectly into the Warhammer 40k universe. Such is
No, it
life under the
wouldn't!
cruelest and most bloody regime imaginable in the grimdark
Oh,
future.
he
And
said
that's
the
just what
thing.
they often
Said
do
it.
to fellow humans. Sentient,
Taking a shot.
non-human civilians, even if not hostile, usually just get instantly murdered or worked to
Oh my god. Okay, listen, buddy, my guy, my brother from another. Well, you're not my brother from another mother. Go fuck yourself. But anyway, Adam something. Here's the problem with what you're trying to argue. You are removing context. You're removing context from, the setting as a whole to understand why the Imperium hates Xenos. The Imperium hates Xenos because humanity used to be in a federation with Xenos. It was literally fucking Star Trek, That was the dark age of technology. It was literally just Star Trek, up to and including, basically the original human civilization being in a federation with aliens. Humans and aliens got along. Do you want to know why they got along? Because humanity was stronger than the aliens militarily, but they approached them all, optimistically. Humanity wanted peace. They didn't do gunboat diplomacy. They literally were doing the Star Trek thing where they believed, in the inherent good of their fellow inhabitants of the galaxy. Do you know what happened after the Men of Iron revolted and caused the AI war that laid low humanity's first empire? By the way, the Leagues of Votann Codex implies that was done by the Void Dragon, that the Void Dragon caused the AI to go crazy.
Oh,
Believable.
I thought it was chaos.
No, it was it is implied to be the Void Dragon that did it.
I think
Fuck
that's
that
kind of
bitch.
an underlying theme, but go ahead.
But yeah, so do you know what happened? So the AI go nuts. Humanity has to fight the Men of Iron, the artificial intelligences. They beat them. Do you know what happened next? All of humanity's alien allies who they'd been allied with, saw that humanity was weak and began to genocide them.
they smelled the blood in the water.
I think the worst part is when you realize that humanity actually could have recovered
Yeah, no.
from the AI rebellion.
If Xenos hadn't stabbed humanity in the back, humanity could have recovered.
And one other thing.
I want to. Okay, I would just want to. So on the screen is Farsight Crisis of Fate. Has anybody else read that book?
No.
I have not
I
read
have.
that one now.
No.
So okay. So first of all, this is a Phil Kelly book, and he has the worst Space Marine chapter on the planet in this book, and it's the I can't believe I forgot their name. The Scar Lords, and they refuse to heal themselves.
Oh right, these are the guys who just exist to be a punching bag for Farsight.
Yes, and what they're talking about here is they're on a planet, and they were, it's dumb anyways. Phil Kelly hates the tech, hates the AdMech, and so he paints them in the worst way he could possibly do it, and then they did horrible things like they killed Tau by like throwing them in lava. I don't really understand why, but anyways, the point is that he went ahead, Farsight went ahead and then just set off a chain of super volcanoes and killed all the humans there. But humanity's the bad guy.
Yeah, of course.
Farsight never has done anything wrong. He's my favorite.
Oh, he was under the influence of a Tzeentch Lord of Change, by the way.
Yeah. And I want to point out, this is for people who don't understand this in the 40k lore. The Tau attacked humanity first. They took over they took over a few human worlds, thinking that was all of humanity, and they officially conquered them. And then the rest of the Imperium rocked up. Like the Tau literally fired first. So anybody who tries to argue that the Tau wanted peace with humanity and the Imperium were just a bunch of dickheads to the Tau. No, the Tau shot first. The Tau changed their entire policy of humanity from active warfare and conquest to subversion because of how the Imperium showed up and reacted to the first human worlds conquered by the Tau. But anyway, okay, back to the video.
To death as slaves. So Games Workshop had to take a different approach with their AAA game. For the sake of broad appeal, they had to gracefully sideline the unspeakable evil and cruelty of the Imperium. You're not committing atrocities, genocides, and other war crimes. Instead, you're fighting an endless horde of Tyranids, insectoid space alien predators, which threaten to overwhelm everything. In contrast to the bugs in the Starship Troopers movie, Tyranids are not the victims of aggression. Their singular goal.
Okay, nope, we're not going to bring up Starship Troopers again and how he's objectively wrong.
He has not even talked about Starship Troopers since
he's about to do it again.
That 9-minute point.
Goal is to devour absolutely everything. They are a force of nature, basically, and there is nothing morally wrong with killing them. The other enemy faction appearing in Space Marine 2 are the Forces of Chaos, who are just evil. Once again, nothing wrong with killing them. So your character,
Which Forces of
the
Chaos?
Ultramarines, is doing the good thing, really. He's a protagonist. He's also a brainwashed space Nazi psychopath, prepared to commit even the most heinous atrocities without a hint of doubt, should his masters command him. But let's not portray that, because that would be a downer for the average player.
The whole story was based off of the first, and this game is based off of his redemption from becoming a Black Shield. I don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
I mean,
That's like sad.
Yeah, again, ignorant or lying. Because
bait or mental retardation, call
it. He completely it's like he's mad that the game. He's basically mad at the game as a story and characterization and justification for the events. It's like again, this is why I think he's not experienced with Warhammer, because the game showed him what Warhammer is actually like. And he can't process that because it's not what he thinks it's like.
I also like how they always talk about Space Marine 2, but then they never talk about the events before Space Marine 2 and Space Marine 1.
Oh, no, he hasn't talked about Space Marine 1 at all. You notice that?
Neither did Bricky.
Yeah.
Bricky talked about it.
Bricky
talked about Space Marine 1.
No, Bricky talked about it long enough to tell you you thought you liked it, but you didn't.
Oh, yeah, I remember now.
And then brought up Modern Warfare 2, just like this genius.
Yep. Anyway.
Therefore, in Space Marine 2, Titus is mostly portrayed as a selfless war hero instead. And I know that there is a bit more nuance to the story and the character, especially in light of the previous game, but that unfortunately doesn't matter. That's stuff.
No, actually, kind of does matter.
It does matter.
That's the whole reason this game exists.
It actually matters. It actually matters a whole fucking lot, buddy. Believe it or not, that there is context for what's being. It's like he's literally saying, "Oh yeah, this is a continuing story," but that doesn't matter because. It's like this is literally just the canon doesn't matter argument. That's what this is boiling down to. The canon doesn't matter. All right, let's keep going.
For lore wonks, not your average player who might not even have played the previous game. The nuance is lost.
Oh, okay, yeah, okay. So, the fact that this is a story and characterization is just for lore nerds, I guess.
It may also explain multiple parts of the first game for people who have never played the first game during this game.
And because of this, due to the satire taking a backseat, we have lunatics.
It's not satire.
Space Nazis made to look like heroes, tirelessly fighting against a tidal wave of freaks that threaten to destroy their glorious civilization. Which is exactly how, say, white nationalists think of themselves, isn't it? The brave champions protecting white civilization from an onslaught of swarthy subhumans who would destroy.
Oh my God! Oh Jesus! I'm not. You know what?
Rolling Stone.
You know what? I'm not.
Yep.
You know what? I'm not even going to give this the time of day.
Let's just keep on rolling.
Video games have an overwhelming cultural influence compared to the books or the tabletop. The game's portrayal of Warhammer 40k becomes dominant in popular culture. Sort of like how the average person thinks of Superman as an unfeeling alien god. That's because
nobody thinks that! Nobody fucking thinks that!
The majority of people recognize that Superman is a corn-fed country boy who just wants to do the right thing.
The entire
this motherfucker literally said
the entire reason people hate Zack Snyder's movies is because that's how they portray Superman. That's why people hate Zack Snyder's movies. You fucking idiot.
I slammed my head against a concrete wall.
Okay, let's keep going.
Evie, why did you drag me into this?
Let's keep going. Let's keep going.
those god-awful Snyder movies depicted him as such. Meanwhile, in the comics, he's this cool and friendly guy. I believe Cosmonaut Variety Hour put it best, and
oh my God, he's bringing.
No.
Okay. We're
There's
just
the
gonna.
lip.
Okay, we're just gonna say the fact this man. Okay, I'm pretty certain Adam something here is unironically a communist bread tuber because he's bringing up another communist bread tuber.
No,
He's from Czechoslovakia.
Well, he gets all of his ideas from other YouTubers. So I mean,
so right. So he's a communist bread tuber. He has no mind of his own. You can
Yeah.
you can almost say he's a mindless automaton, just doing what he's told with no thought
Like
or
bugs.
with no thought or reason. And maybe
Well,
that's
you know,
why he's so mad that Lieutenant Titus is an actual character, because Lieutenant Titus can think for himself, unlike Adam here. But anyway,
He's still my captain in my eyes.
it's also amazing to me that he said everybody thinks Superman is like that way because of the Snyder movies, when that's literally why everyone hated the Snyder movies. But anyway.
I'm paraphrasing, in the movies, Clark Kent is the mask worn by Superman, but in reality, Superman is the mask worn by Clark Kent. But due to the movie's overwhelming cultural influence over the comics,
Nobody.
what?
The DC.
Nobody has said
the
this.
DC.
Show me the
The DCEU.
Show me the statistics.
The DCEU fucking flopped. Nobody liked it.
Please show me the
Okay.
statistics on who thinks that, Adam, please.
But here, fun fact about comics, real quick, just to tell you how stupid this guy is. Anytime Superman's brainwashed and said, "Hey, who's your real identity?" he'll answer Clark Kent.
Yeah.
Fun
That's how he was
fact.
raised.
You know who does
Batman.
not do this ever?
Batman.
Bruce Wayne, otherwise known as Batman. Because you
We're-
could never get Bruce Wayne to say he's Batman or that Batman is Bruce
Bro
Wayne.
didn't even say it when holding the lasso of truth.
What's your name,
Said
Batman?
Bruce Wayne.
No,
Well,
you just said
okay,
Batman.
the reason why
Batman,
is because
sorry.
Batman has literally been doing it so perfectly that he completely sees Bruce Wayne and Batman. And by the way, he never refers to himself as Batman when he's Bruce Wayne, or as Batman as himself.
Yeah, that's from Batman
He's,
Beyond.
Wayne.
he's basically gaslit himself into seeing. He's basically gaslit himself into seeing Batman and Bruce Wayne as two different people.
Which is
Yes.
good against the fear toxin.
It's like this guy. I mean, okay, ignoring that, this guy does not show statistics except when it's convenient for his argument. Read his bringing up Mass Effect, but it's like nobody. The Zack Snyder movies were only culturally influential in getting everybody to hate them. But anyway.
Superman becomes the cultural standard. Same with Warhammer 40k. The ultra-popular games will be the ones dictating the IP's public perception, not the niche books or the tabletop game. Unsurprisingly,
really.
the far-right began co-opting Warhammer 40k already a few years ago.
Oh my God!
God,
It's
Emperor Trump.
As somebody who is not far right, I can say this is fucking wrong.
listen. By the way, look up God Emperor Lenin on Google.
I don't
Also,
think I hate comics.
also the fact that listen, here we go again with the left doing that thing they do where they read literally way too fucking much into internet memes. Like this. Listen, nobody in their right mind on the Donald or any fucking place hub of pro Donald Trump right wing activity actually wants Donald Trump to become an emperor. They want him to be they wanted him to be a 2-term president, which he became, but they don't want him to be an emperor. Nobody's serious. Like when people joke about Baron Trump becoming the least
Paul Atreides.
when they say he's on this Paul Atreides arc and he's going to become the Lisan Al Gaib and become the emperor of the United States, none of them are fucking serious. Nobody is serious.
I don't know. It'd be really funny.
I mean, it'd be funny, yeah, but it's like nobody's actually serious. Nobody actually wants Donald Trump to become the emperor of the United States. They want him to serve his 2 terms and fix shit. That's what they want. But of course, this guy doesn't know how people actually think. That much is
Trump
apparent.
being the most obvious example.
People with
Also God
differing
Emperor
views,
Putin, go
especially.
figure. Now, far-right
Oh no.
Oh my
Naft.
This mods beat this guy's head in with a rock.
Nobody seriously makes God Emperor Putin memes except like maybe whatever few Russians have internet access, and that's not a lot of them.
Bo, there actually was a few months ago when the whole Russian Civil War almost happened.
Okay,
Man,
but
that was really funny.
okay, but that
was really funny.
Okay, but those were literally just fucking memes comparing it to the fucking Horus Heresy as a joke.
For the Horus
like,
is still funny to me.
Like, for fuck's sake, it was people made the obvious joke of, like, the Horus Heresy. Like, it's like I cannot imagine what it's like to live without a sense of humor like this.
Brain rot exists, and it's horrible.
Of course he's bringing up the Austrian painter incident. It wouldn't be a breadtuber video about how 40k is a Nazi problem without squeezing those dry as fuck cow tits.
The tabletop game, so you won't be meeting them in real life. Online.
Okay. Actually, no. He brings it. He just said the Nazis have been banned from tabletop, so you'll never actually meet one in real life. Like, what? This is the same kind of guy who'd arguing gatekeeping doesn't work because he can't actually keep people from buying Warhammer and playing the game. If it's his lefty friends, but apparently Games Workshop put out a shallow statement that they never followed up on, and it's arguable whether that the infamous "The Imperium is Driven by Hate" article was ever even approved by corporate. So, yeah, Games Workshop has absolutely no policy about stopping people from playing tabletop. In fact, funnily enough, the tournament that the Austrian painter incident happened at, the next year, leftists tried to shut the tournament down because they didn't want it happening again.
Can I just say the people that went to that tournament were all cowards?
Okay, can I ask, what is the Austrian painter incident?
Okay, so the Austrian painter incident, it was this Spanish 40k tournament, and what happened was this guy wearing allegedly far right iconography on all of his clothing, fucking signs up for the tournament under the name The Austrian Painter, and basically gets up pretty far in the tournament because people refuse to play against him. And then
he won the tournament because no one would play against him.
He didn't win. He didn't win.
Oh, did someone actually finally play against him?
Okay. Don't cut me off here because I'm in the middle of.
Sorry, Bo.
So here are the facts. Again, allegedly wearing far right Spanish party clothing. There's never been actual pictures of the guy. I want to point out. Conveniently, there's never been a picture of him. Shows up for the tournament, signs up as the Austrian painter. People refuse to play him. He advances a couple rounds because his opponents concede because they don't want to play against him. Ends up in a match with one guy and loses. And then he, they shake hands, he leaves. And this singular incident has been the tourist argument for why 40k has a Nazi problem for years. Like,
when did this happen?
Despite the fact that literally nobody would play against this guy.
And the thing is that and then what happened was a couple of days pass, and the leftists are making a stink about it. This is back when any kind of right-wing thought was not allowed on Twitter. So basically there was no pushback, and there was no actual discussion going on, just a bunch of lefties on Twitter jerking each other off. And basically what happened was this eventually reached Games Workshop, and what happened, they put out an article about, they put out an article, they air quotes, they put out an article about how the Imperium is driven by hate, but Warhammer isn't. And this was like, they talk about how they're going to dedicate resources to combating fascism in the fucking player base, and all kinds of big pie in the sky statements about how, what they're going to do to combat fascism. Nothing ever came of it.
What did they say that they were going to do to combat it?
That's just what they said. They said they're going to do something
exactly. About it. Yeah, they're going to combat it. They're going to dedicate resources. Nothing came of it. There's a very high possibility that a rogue intern at Warhammer on the Warhammer community website, because that website is literally run by people who work from home. there's a very good chance that it was just put out by somebody with no approval, and it would look bad to take it down, basically. Like that, because and that article and the Austrian painter incident have been the two dried up, cow teats that the tourists like to squeeze for milk every time they try to talk down to real Warhammer fans about how, it's making fun of you and you're not welcome and all that stuff. And the 40k is a Nazi problem. It is such a tired fucking thing because it's the only ammo they have. It's like, they're literally at like the 10 guys with one gun at Stalingrad with this thing. That is like what's going on with this whole fucking incident. It was a literal nothing burger incident. And then the leftists that, supposedly won out against the guy tried to get the tournament shut down the next year. So who's the real fascist here, if we're going to make the other argument? But anyway, going forward.
And though Warhammer 40k communities are often literal cancer, with people unironically parroting the fascist propaganda of the Imperium. Burn the heretics, kill the mutants, purge the unclean. It is
I'll roleplay.
God forbid
immersive.
God forbid people get immersed in a setting just because you don't like the faction. Fuck, man. We're just gonna keep going.
Better to die for the Emperor rather than to live for yourself. An open mind is like a fortress with its gates unbarred and unguarded. Killed like
that wasn't said by Games Workshop. That was said by the librarian from what was his name from Dawn of War? The librarian.
I forget his name, but he was just the librarian from Dawn of War.
Yeah,
he turned straighter.
Oh,
yep. I did not know that.
Oh, guys, look! Somebody bought merch. Okay, let's go.
Lots of Xenos and got coin for the Emperor. Here's this image depicting an Imperium guardsman blowing himself up with an Eldari, basically a space elf, titled "The Emperor Protects."
That's a win.
Oh, God forbid a fan draw comic where an Imperium character is doing a heroic sacrifice.
With 1.9 thousand likes, the soldier is glad to die for the Emperor and believes that he saved him by letting him die in war. He's been brainwashed that hard. And the comments next to the image are of a similar vein. Approved. When I'm gone, I'll meet the God Emperor, but you, Xeno scum, the only God you'll meet is the Dark God, or whatever that is. Cadia stands for Cadia. Cadia is a fortress where most enemies are doing by the way. There are also common image replies, most of which call for murdering someone, usually the post-author, or non-humans in general, called Xenos. Not just the evil, aggressive ones. No, literally everyone, including sentient Xenos and their civilians, who would be other.
Okay, so he wants to bring up how, the Imperium just murders Xenos for no reason, but he has to bring up the same excerpt twice.
As a sleepy robot enjoyer, we also kill everything.
Yeah. Question. Oh, can you name, as you, the 40k artist, name a single Xeno species in 40k that currently does not have it on the list to kill all humans? Kill or
there are currently okay. I could make one, and it's a stretch. Okay. It's the fact that the Leagues of Votann are classified as Xenos, even though they are genetically modified humans.
They're just short kings.
Yeah, they're genetic.
I thought they were technically the Men of Stone.
They are.
But
It's not confirmed.
Okay, it's not confirmed, but it basically is soft confirmed. They're the Men of Stone. They are human. They're genetically modified heavily, but they are an offshoot of humanity.
The squats were an abhuman subsect. That's where they come from.
But the Leagues of Votann are a offshoot of humanity. They are classified as Xenos pretty much purely for categorization on the GW website.
Also because it's a secret.
Of that too, yeah. They don't tell the Imperium that.
Oh yeah.
Well, it's honestly they're honestly less afraid of the Imperium finding out. Like their genetics are close enough to human that they can just give that shit to the Imperium, and the Imperium
Mechanicals would be the problem.
Jack Priest, one.
Yeah, but they were able to just give their genetic code to humanity to be tested, and convince the Imperium they were abhumans just from doing that. So that's not what they're afraid of. What the leagues are afraid of is the Imperium finding out about the fact that they're ruled by artificial intelligence. That's what they're afraid
Ancestor
of.
core.
Yeah, the Votan,
Ancestor core.
the Votan ancestor cores. But yeah, so but more to the point.
Yes, the still sane
And the
AI.
Ironkin.
Yeah, but more to the point. Again, he's so convinced of his position that he had to bring up the same excerpt twice. Like, if he's so secure in his position, he can bring up any excerpt that and could possibly prove his point. But he has to bring up a shitty Phil Kelly novel to do it, you know?
For real.
Doesn't fucking have any ideas of his own. Yeah. That's what it seems.
Reddit.
But okay, yeah, again, he's quoting Reddit, but let's keep going.
Otherwise neutral or even friendly. Just kill them all. I've also seen plenty of Warhammer memes about interracial cuckoldry, which is something far-right people...
Oh my fucking... Hold on.
People online are absolutely obsessed with. Don't look it up, trust me.
Okay. First of all, again, the whole Tau psyche, your mic is picking shit up. Okay. First of all, the Tau women prefer human men thing is a joke. It is a fucking joke. It's not like some kind of far-right this man thinks every fucking meme is far-right propaganda. It's a fucking joke. And again, the reason people on the right make jokes about cuckoldry is because people on your side promote it as a fucking virtue. That's what fucking Destiny, yeah. Like fucking literally one of your biggest fucking spokespeople was literally a cuck. Like you promote it as and it was proud of it. Like you promote it as a virtue. Yeah, people are gonna make fun of you for that. So you're trying to argue because people are making fun of you for being weird. That like it's literally that comic of the dude pissing himself and everyone laughing at him and the dude's like haha rent free, you know? Yeah, it's like yeah, you're not living rent free in our heads. We're laughing at you because you pissed yourself. Okay, moving on.
Now let's stop here for a moment. Am I not taking this a bit too seriously?
Yes, you are.
Yes.
Oh my God, he's having a moment of self-aware. He's having a moment of self.
He's beginning to believe.
He's having a moment of self-awareness. Let's see how he cocks it up.
Pointing at obvious memes and jokes below posts and pretending they're serious? I do realize these memes and replies are jokes, but often they also aren't. Now, hold on, what the hell do I mean by that? How can one thing be two opposite things at the same time? I personally call such memes and jokes Schrödinger's shitpost. They are both a joke.
Okay. You know what? I'm going to get this out of my system and then we're just going to keep going because this does not deserve serious discussion, okay? He is entirely... He's basically saying, oh, sure, these could be jokes, but I'm going to assume they're not because I'm going to assume the worst about the character of the person making it based entirely on my deluded preconceived notions of everyone I don't like. That's basically what he's doing. He's doing exactly what he's accusing. He's doing exactly what he's accusing Warhammer fans of doing.
And not a joke at the same time. The meme exists in an ideological superposition until someone engages with it. So suppose someone holds a far-right adjacent meme like this, the Kekistani flag.
Oh my God.
And
he would. I was about to say he probably hates Pepe.
He actually thinks the Kekistan is anything more than a fucking. It's again, it's a joke. It's a meme. People made it up, laughed at it, had their fun. You all lost your shit and now won't shut the fuck up about it like fucking 8 years later.
Rock skull.
Grow the fuck up, Adam.
Flag, which is a recolored Nazi Wehrmacht flag, also commonly wielded by neo-Nazi protesters. But here, it's just an edgy joke, you see.
Oh, no. It shows feds.
Hold on. Let's oh, wait a minute. I want to get that.
Like how he shows
the ideological superposition until someone engages with it. So suppose someone holds a far-right adjacent meme like this, the Kekistani flag, which is a recolored Nazi Wehrmacht flag, also commonly wielded by neo-Nazi protesters.
Oh yeah. Okay. Man. Hey. Hey. You know what I'm seeing in this screenshot? A whole
Federal agents.
A whole lot of green glow. Yeah, no, this is this is the most federal agent picture of all the pictures.
I'm pretty sure I've seen that skull face mask at the majority of Fed gatherings.
Well, listen. Listen, this is just an FBI convention right here, so let's move on.
Protesters. But here, it's just an edgy joke, you see. Or is it? If the response is negative, say if someone replies with, dude, what the fuck is this? Then, oh, it's just a joke, it's just a meme, lamau, don't take it seriously. But if the response is positive, like, my fellow red-pilled Kakistani brother, whom the echo signs elites couldn't brainwash, then often the meme is suddenly not a joke. Ha, I know, right? Oy vey. And it's not like the person who posted the Kakistani flag is pretending either way. This is the funny part. Such people legitimately don't know what their intent is with the meme they post. Is it just
okay, so now your argument is that your argument is people have intent, but they don't know what their intent is. So you don't have an argument. Your argument is, basically to assume there's no actual way to try to criticize this seriously. He's just literally just saying, my brain is actually stumped right now. This man is so fucking stupid. He's trying to argue. Basically, his argument is that my assumption of your character is what's right and not your actual intent. Yeah, no, that sounds like that's a leftist position.
An edgy joke, or is it serious? It depends on the meme's public reception. Of course, not all Warhammer memes are like that, but quite a few of them are. I can tell you a percentage here. So far, I could only determine that a non-trivial number of them exist, and that such Schrodinger's shitposts are part of the far-right infiltration and co-opting of Warhammer 40k.
Oh, okay. Okay. Now we're on the far right co-opting, not just like a fan. Remember, it's never a fandom having fun with memes. It's always far right co-opting. Remember what Goebbels said: "Accuse your enemy of what you are doing." The far left infiltration of Warhammer.
It provides a nice little gray zone where you can keep dog whistling or posting what are essentially.
Oh, by the way, only dogs hear dog whistles. So why are you the only one hearing things?
Nazi memes, only it's Warhammer 40k, so normies will think nothing of it. Far-right infiltration of 40k is such a recurring problem that Games Workshop had to issue multiple statements already stating that Warhammer is for...
Okay. First of all, he's not even right about this. So this is the Rogue Intern article. That was the Imperium is driven by hate. Was that article was made in response to the Austrian painter? We talked about that earlier, right? Yeah. The first one he flashed though, this one, the Warhammer is for everyone. That was made. Here's the thing. Most people who like to flash this don't even understand why GW made it. They put this on their site. They put this up on social media during the Summer of Love, basically to try to prevent their stores from being burned down. The Summer of Love was when, it was the fiery but mostly peaceful protests, by the way. So that's the context behind this. This was literally put up to try to dissuade people from getting mad at Warhammer stores in cities and burning them down because they were there. That's what this was.
Issue multiple statements already stating that Warhammer is for everyone, it is not based on hate, it is satire, and that far-right people should fuck off from the hobby, basically. So...
Basically.
It's like, again, the Imperium is driven by hate article promises things Games Workshop has never followed up on nor enforced. So... yeah. You can keep, it's like they can keep posting this article as much as they want. It doesn't make it true. Same with the satire bit, which again, Warhammer 40,000, the ultimate guide, the opening, I've done a video on this. The opening of the ultimate guide pays a little bit of lip service to the idea that maybe Warhammer was satire in the first edition, which it's not. Rick Priestley did an interview with Grognardia, which was it's like a blog it's like a blog site about gaming shit, where he basically said, confirmed the intent of making Warhammer 40k was not political satire. He also Andy Chambers has shot down the one and only argument that can really be made for it being satire, that being, Gaskell Magaruk Thraka is supposed to be a parody of Margaret Thatcher. Andy Chambers, who made the character, shot that down already. Like, you can ask people for the screenshots of this. I can't post them here because we're trying to stay on topic, but people will point these screenshots out if you ask for it. No, it's not satire. Its own creators have confirmed it's not multiple times now. Andy Chambers has confirmed it. Rick Priestley has confirmed it. And now Guy Haley, most recently in The Ultimate Guide, has confirmed it. It's not satire. And Games Workshop never followed up on this article in any way, shape, or form, which again leads credence to the idea they never approved its posting.
That's nice, but at the same time, Games Workshop is commissioning video games that neglect the satire in favor of a broader appeal, where the hero, who belongs to a literal superior race, selflessly protects his civilization from the marauding hordes of freaks and degenerates. And this is seen by far-right people who, in their own imaginations, are heroes who belong to a superior race, selflessly protecting their civilization from the marauding hordes of freaks and degenerates. And so they identify with Warhammer 40k. They are drawn to Warhammer 40k content. They co-opt the aesthetics of Warhammer 40k. No matter how many statements Games Workshop makes, no matter how much they insist on 40k being satire, as long as the ultra-popular games make the Imperium look cool and badass, righteous even, the far-right will inevitably stay in its orbit and try to co-opt it. This is...
I'm shaking my head in real life right now, like actual hands-on face frustration with this man. Like, okay, there's 1 minute left in the video.
This is why Warhammer 40k, in my opinion, is doomed to always have far-right hanger-ons, unless they take the lore into a different direction. And I'm not quite sure how to do that while also preserving the grimdark setting, which is one of the main appeals of the IP. I do have some ideas here though. I think what would help is getting more left-leaning people into the hobby. Also... Okay.
He's almost done.
Games Workshop could add more diversity to the Imperium just to make the Chuds angry. Female space marines,
female
adeptus custodes, naturally, adopt us custodes. Also, add more skin colors. The ensuing outrage will basically be free advertising by those who are put off by that. You don't want them in the hobby anyway.
Make the models.
Do you have some more ideas? Feel free to share them in the comments. Normally I don't read them, but this time I'm genuinely interested.
I mean,
and
let's
we'll
not
go
forget.
Hold on. Wait a minute. Everyone, shh. Psyche, your mic. Okay, shh.
The ensuing outrage will basically be free advertising, and those who are put off by that, you don't want them in the hobby anyway. Do you have some more ideas? Feel free to share them in the comments. Normally I don't read them, but this time I'm genuinely...
Oh, okay, he was talking about the comments. I thought he was talking about the novels. I thought he was literally about to admit, like, he didn't read the novels. Wouldn't surprise me.
What a British meatball, man.
Now I know this man has never engaged with Warhammer 40k. Now I know.
Has he ever seen that fucking...
I mean,
he did.
Space Marine 2, Kyra. We had Kyra and Gadriel.
There have been women and non-white characters, and even LGBT characters in Warhammer all the way back. I'm not even going to cite examples. I don't need to cite examples. It is the reality
Space Marine 2 itself.
He didn't fucking cite examples. Except for media posts.
It is the argument. He is literally trying to argue that 40k is something it's not. It is not on. I do not need to prove myself right. He needs to prove himself right. He needs to actually show how 40k is not like this. Like, you can go back to like back when it wasn't popular to have that stuff in settings and see 40k having it. And you know what? Honestly, I'm sick of having to argue that because it is so flagrantly contradicting reality to argue that 40k is like all white characters, all male characters, all straight characters. Like it is so frustrating to keep arguing this point to people who've clearly never engaged with the fucking hobby, like Adam something here. I'm just gonna say, you know what, Adam? Fuck you for this. You know what? He really went okay, you know what? He's basically gone mask off now. This whole thing was just to argue, completely change the lore and the setting to appeal to only my people and nobody else. No, like not to normies, not to existing fans, just me and my politically intoxicated, fuckwit friends. That was the entire crux of this. He goes on for 22 minutes pretending he has a point and then just goes mask off at the end. That's it. That's the video.
You know what? If he wants to advocate for banning people, I'm going to advocate for banning people. All Gene Stealer cult fans, get out of my game. Nobody wants you around.
Boobs. We're talking serious right now, if you don't mind. All
right.
I get it, jokes, but no, we're criticizing this video. This is actually the dumbest fucking thing I've ever watched.
It is awful.
I feel like I have suffered brain damage from this.
How is this somehow worse than Bricky's video? I thought that was pretty bad.
Look, Bricky's video was fucking ignorant as hell, but at the very least, it wasn't political. That's that.
Oh, yeah.
It wasn't this kind of political.
Fair.
True, but okay. There is less than. There's like.
Less than 17 seconds.
There's 13 seconds left in the video.
Interested, and we'll go over them at least once. In the meantime, thank you for watching. If you'd like to support my work,
I don't want to support your work. Fuck you.
I want my hour of life back. Go fuck yourself, Adam.
2 hours 44 minutes as of this moment.
No.
So
watch this in silence. Like Kojima watching a movie.
I feel. Listen, I feel legitimately ripped off. Because I was thinking maybe he was gonna go somewhere with this that could be a little more discussion worthy than just this is just my call for Games Workshop to completely throw their audience away and embrace the modern audience. That's basically what it is.
Own the chuds, please own the chuds.
Please own the chuds, Games Workshop. Pull a Disney Star Wars, pull a D&D. That's what it is. That's all this is. That's all this video is. Every completely asinine point is just like asinine non-argument. It's like they're not even arguments. No statistics, no proof. All to pull off that, throw the current fandom out and completely cater to my ideology. That's all it was. That was legitimately. I'm closing the fucking media share. I am done with this. I'm so done with this video.
You know what, boys? I had fun with my homies. That's at the end of the day. That's all that matters.
So that
I want to strangle you.
Okay, so that was Adam Something's The Problem with Warhammer 40k, a 22-minute nonsensical rant that basically just boiled down to a demand for Games Workshop to completely throw away their audience and destroy Warhammer 40k and all of its success just so, they can own the chuds. That's it. I'm sorry I've made you watch this far. I'm legitimately apologizing to everybody who watches this video that you wasted your time on.
I'm curious, how much of that was spent on stuff that wasn't even 40k content?
Over half of it. Over half of it. Okay, you know what? This video was long in the tooth. And it was I will admit it was a complete waste of time, but you know what? That's because the man who made it is a waste of time and a waste of life. Adam Something, get the fuck out of my hobby. You are not welcome. This is the official position of the Warhammer 40k community. You are not welcome. Goodbye. You are gone. And on those words, I'm going to close out this video. Thank you for everyone who has watched. I will probably see y'all next time when I'm streaming or we're doing another video like this. Thank you for coming, and thank you everyone, who came along with me for this. Thank you guys. Good night, everyone.